Live from beautiful downtown Bastrop, it's time for the Stage Select, starring Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
What could this possibly be? Seems a lot like a podcast. Wonder what specifically. Talking about video games. With your hosts, you're in good hands. Not more of the same. Now we'll jump right in. So expect the unexpected and more. Now we'll get grooving. There ain't always gonna walk through the door. There just might be some strategy in this. Just having fun with our special guest. Time for Stage Select.
And here are your hosts, Julian Titus and Justin Ham.
Welcome, one and all, to the Stage Select. I'm Julian Titus.
I'm Justin Ham. Hi. I normally I have a good intro for things, but I don't. I think I talked about this one other time, but for some reason the song "God Save the Queen" is on my brain today. I don't know if you've heard it, but
Like the British anthem?
yeah.
Okay.
When I learned it in school, it was not that. It was "My Country 'Tis of Thee," or
Right.
yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's
You'd think the country would have wanted like a larger break from the previous regime.
No, we
when
just stole their
founding themselves.
We just stole their music. Like, it's not even that good of a song, really. I'm not, I don't mean to shit on the British national anthem, or if that's what it is. I think it is. But like,
and we stole the land to begin with, so like it was kind of
it's in our blood. What are you gonna do? Yeah, it's weird. I was trying to I don't know. I wish I would have I wish they would have just told me that in music class, though. Like, at least showed me that there was another option. Like, because they did.
Oh,
they didn't.
No, they told us.
No, they didn't tell me that. They were
interesting.
They're like, here's "My Country 'Tis of Thee." It's a song, and I was like, okay, cool. And so it took me a long time to realize that no. That's not actually that's not actually a song we fucking wrote. Yeah, music class is weird, especially in America, because like it got really, really whitewashed at some point, where they just started like this land is our land, this land is your land, or whatever. That's like missing a verse in the version you usually learn in school, which is interesting. I learned that at a Tom Morello show. That was interesting. Because then he plays like the last verse. Because it's actually like it's not really that patriotic of a song. It is until the end, when I can't remember exactly how it goes, but you'd have to look it up.
Right. I mean, it's sort of like when like politicians will take like a song that is intended to be a criticism of the country, but because it sounds patriotic, like they'll use it.
Boy, they do that with some Bruce Springsteen, don't they?
They sure do.
Oh boy, that's great. Yeah, I always liked that one.
Yeah.
Tom Morello, big Bruce Springsteen fan. That was one of the songs that he covered. I remember was "Ghost of Tom Joad," which is not the Rage Against the Machine version that he covered. It was interesting. Because, man, the Rage Against the Machine version of the Ghost of Tom Joad is fucking awesome. It's a good song anyway, but holy shit. It's a totally different vibe. Great riff.
It's sort of in line with like my thought that I don't like the idea of trying to sanitize things or like sand down the edges of things to make them in line with modern day, because I think there's value in understanding like how people were and how people thought, and it was funny because me and friend of the show John Gholson we were watching he had like Looney Tunes, like a collection of Looney Tunes on streaming, and we were watching those. And it was like a couple things, right? It was me remarking about like how surprised I am at just how ingrained into my brain they are. Like, I didn't realize how often I watched them, because they were just in syndication when I was growing up. So like, it didn't occur to me just how many times I had seen those shorts.
Right.
So like, we're watching these cartoons like, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen in this next bit. I know this line. I know how this dialogue sounds or whatever. But also I was telling him about how I remember as a kid when they started to censor Looney Tunes, like when I was probably about like between like 10 to 12. Like the example that I always have is there's this one Looney Tunes short where it ends with a cat saying, well, now I've seen everything. And then he shoots himself in the head. And then I remember watching it one time as a tween, and it goes, well, now I've seen everything. Yeah. And it like instantly like does the white to the that's all folks thing. And it's like, that wasn't the end of the show. That wasn't the end of that's not the funny part.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, and not to say that like you should enshrine it or whatever, but I think that you should have access to it so you can be like, yo, look at how this shit was, right? Like it's good to know that stuff. Yeah,
probably is, right? But no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting world.
I remember that, the Splash Mountain used to be a Brer Rabbit thing, like at Disney World.
Yeah.
Not saying it still should be, but I'm saying that like you should still be able to see the Brer Rabbit cartoons to be like, whoa, that was not okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've actually ever seen that. So yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Oh man. Video games. Hi, we're here to talk about those, I guess.
We are.
Yeah.
Before we do that though.
Okay.
I wanted to just like kind of do another like hello to new listeners, because I think when we did the initial one after the Giant Bomb ad ran, I didn't do like probably a great job of explaining like what it is we do around here and stuff like that. So one of the things that I wanted to be clear is that we're not going to try to sell you anything. So if you ever hear our announcer John Gholson break in saying, and now a word from our sponsors, that's a bit.
Yeah.
So you probably don't want to skip over that. I know instinctively, like you probably just want to hit the 30-second button.
Yeah.
But it's content that's actually stuff that like we made for the show. Little things like that. We're not a show that's always like doing a call to action or anything like that. But it's also, I like to overshare, and I because I find it interesting just as like a podcast fan and a podcast producer, like because I don't think people surface their numbers very often. But since that ad ran, like we are on pace for this month to break our all-time download record.
Fantastic.
And the month still has like a good amount of juice left in it. And also like we picked up like 20 new followers on Spotify and like 10 new subscribers on YouTube. In addition to whatever, people just like subscribed through whatever podcatchers they get, because that stuff is a little harder to actually know. But yeah, so welcome. Hope you guys and gals stick around. I encourage you to reach out and let us know what you think. We're a small, modest operation, so it's a thing where like if you write to us, you're going to get on the show, because there's not we're not at the point where we have to pick and choose. And we appreciate feedback. We appreciate criticism. We appreciate comments, questions, or concerns, anything like that you want to shoot our way. Feel free. I don't do it often, but like a review would not go amiss, but it's not something that I ask for pretty much ever, because I just it's kind of whatever. But
yeah,
it's always nice to see a new one.
Right.
And our show manager Morgan will usually come out and read those to us when we get them, so that's always nice. It's a thing that he likes to do, so give him a little thing, little extra to do. He's been he's been kind of slacking off lately. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like his like performance review is coming up, and it's not looking good.
No, he's fine. He's earned a place in all our hearts, Julian.
He's been dead on the floor more often than not lately, and I don't.
He can't help
know what's
that.
up with
It's a condition.
Yeah, I know. When we rescued him from the From Software poison swamps,
can't be an ableist about this, Julian. That's discrimination. Fair. You can't do that. There are laws.
I mean, I was aware of it when I hired him. It's just,
I know.
You know, sometimes I think he's taking advantage. That's all.
I get it.
Yeah.
You know,
like Abramo told me that like he swept him into the corner one time, and he swore that he saw him twitch.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I'm just saying we want to be a better place than like where I work, where they fired a guy because he had cancer. And then
that's extra shitty. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it really was. It was really bad. And then they and then he came like he had cancer, got treated, came back, and then they fired him like a month later because they were afraid that he would go out again. And then he died a few months after that. And I was like, Jesus Christ, that's the worst. I can't believe we did that. I know. I didn't do it. I'm not a fucking I have zero say on any of that.
But and that's a union job, so just like you'd like to think you have some protections.
They weren't though. That's the thing.
Oh,
they weren't part of that. That's the difference. So
join your unions where you can, people.
That's what I'm screaming. Well, actually, a lot of people in that person's spot actually quit recently to go join those types of jobs. And I'm like, I don't blame you. That shit's wild. Oh, video games.
Jeez.
Anyway,
but yeah. And then also just, I mean, I think our energy is pretty good, but just worth noting that this is the third episode that we have recorded in 2 days. So, just keep that in mind if we start to like wane or something. I'm feeling pretty good, but I'm still in vacation mode.
You're on vacation. Yeah. I know that feeling.
Yeah. And you said you're off next week.
I'm off next week. So after today, I'll be slightly invigorated. I don't know how long I'll be off for. I'm kind of intrigued by it. Could be a while, could not be a while. But I'm opting in because I'm just like, I hate working. So why not?
If only there was a better way.
Yeah, that's basically it.
It feels like we should have figured out a better way, Justin.
Yeah, no. We're hunters and gatherers, and at some point we're just like, nah, let's not do any of that anymore, really. Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, what else are we talking about?
I didn't get as much stuff done on my vacation as I was hoping to. I was hoping to come in here and be like, I played like 50 hours of video games this week or something like that, and I mean, I got stuff done. I didn't get everything done that I wanted.
That's always how it goes. Like Kim and I have the week off, and we've made a bunch of plans that I guarantee we'll follow up on about maybe 25 to 50% of them, and the rest will be like, maybe next time. So yeah, that's how that goes. Yeah.
Like I wanted to let's see. Yeah, I wanted to look in on getting a personal loan. I wanted to grease grease my garage door because it's getting like really really loud and creaky.
Yeah.
I did get the lubricant for it, so halfway there. But really, like, I remodeled my office, which was the major project, and that took like way longer than I was anticipating.
Fair.
Like,
yeah.
It was like a bitch to put this desk together, and it was like a lot more I actually finally put all of my books in alphabetical order by author on my shelf for the first time since I moved in 4 years ago. So that took a while. I also got a collection of books to take to Half Price Books later. I'm like,
oh, there you go.
Yeah, just stuff that I don't need anymore. I got stuff up on my walls, like first time since I moved into the house 4 years ago. It's actually kind of cool now looking around.
That's
I've got
good.
my indie wrestling corner. I've got my video
nice.
game stuff.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You've been
Yeah.
doing things. That's good.
Yeah.
You might as well.
And I did get a lot of gaming done, just
Good.
not as much
Not
as I
as-
wanted. But I
yeah.
finished 3 games, and
Okay.
I made
More than me.
good progress on a 4th, and then started some stuff.
Cool.
So I finished Hell Is Us, which I mean, I was like
Yeah.
right towards the end last episode.
Seemed like it. Yeah.
I love that game. It actually ended like in a way that I was really satisfied
Okay,
with. Like
good.
when I got to the final part, it again blew me away because it just constantly did stuff that I was not expecting.
Sure.
My criticisms from last week stand.
Right.
Like I think the combat is way better than what you're allowed to do with it, and it's very frustrating, especially by the end of the game.
Sure.
And it's actually a complaint that I have. Like I wouldn't classify Hell Is Us as a horror game per se, but it is horror adjacent.
Yeah. That's kind of what the vibe I got from it.
Yeah, and it's the same complaint that I had with both Alan Wake games and then also Silent Hill F, which I'll talk about in a little bit,
Okay.
which is there's this like mentality with horror games and horror related games where they're like, we've got to go all in on the action and combat towards the end of the game because that's what people want.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know about other players, but for me, by the end of the game, I'm usually I just want to know what's like how this is wrapping up, right? And I feel that any combat encounter, unless it's like really
Unless it's
fucking
really
special,
cool. Yeah, you know.
yeah. If it's just like your bog standard stuff that you've been doing, just more of it,
Right.
I'm like, this is just actively impeding me from getting to what I want.
Was
to
it
see.
a lot of like enemy wave type stuff? I know Alan Wake is like that, where it's just like enemy wave after enemy wave, isn't it?
Not so much that. Like, I mean, there was some of that in the final act.
Okay,
but
sure.
the final area was actually pretty cool because it was a variation on an enemy that I hadn't seen before, and I
Okay.
don't really want to say what it was.
Sure.
But it was sort of like 4 mini bosses, which were like the closest thing to a boss in the entire game that it had.
Right.
And that was fine and all, but it was like they were kind of a bitch to take down, and there were 4 of them. And it was like, this is cool, and I probably would have been more into it if there hadn't been so much combat leading up to this area on the way here.
Yeah, I can believe that.
And I didn't 100% it. I do want to go back and try to get the platinum, because when you beat the game, like, it gives you a message, and it kind of insinuates that like there's more to the story if you if you do everything before you finish it. And I'm like, I kind of need to see that.
Yeah.
The only thing that might be a thing that keeps me from getting the full platinum is that you have to close the time loops in each area and then kill all the remaining enemies.
Okay.
And it can be difficult to remember where the remaining enemies are, because in some of the areas you've come back to them like 2 and 3 times. So in my memory, it's like, okay, like, I feel that I've already killed those enemies, but that's because I did that like a while, like before I closed the time loop. So I'm not remembering what's left. And you know, it just comes down to like, some of the areas are labyrinthine.
Yeah.
Mazes.
I would not have the patience for that. I'm not going to lie. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that might be the thing that I leave like on, like, I mean, leave alone.
Julian, there's always YouTube to find.
Well, I don't think that's going to factor into like altering the story. I think it's all the side quests and mysteries and stuff like that, which that's stuff that I do want to go find.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That I can get behind. If it's side content that you actually want to do, then by all means, that's cool. That's fine.
Yeah. I'm just saying that the thing that could potentially keep me from getting the full platinum is like just not wanting to kill every single enemy.
No, I almost never have the patience for a platinum trophy, almost ever.
Sure.
So yeah.
Like I said, a lot of times it's the mark of like how much I love something, or just because like, you know, like in the case of like a Unicorn Overlord, where I actually ran out of things to do and still wanted more.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anything left.
Yeah. I like that game. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, really happy with that one. Again, I think it is a like super dark horse. I honestly, this week I was thinking a lot about Game of the Year because I've got all of our Game of the Year episodes booked, all of our guests booked.
Cool.
They're all scheduled. And I'm thinking that when it comes down to the list,
Sure.
For me, it's going to end up being there's going to be a handful of games that I'm just going to fight to try to get on the list.
Sure.
And then I'm done. Like, I'm not even going to try to move them up any further because, like, I think my list is going to be so different from most people's lists this year that because I've played like a really weird selection of games, and the ones that are on my short list are like, it's like I've played them, you haven't like even touched them, and then I know that like one of our guests either hasn't touched it or isn't nearly as high on the stuff as I am. So it's like I'm gonna have to like there might not even be a battle to pick because it's like there's no way.
It's gonna be
only
interesting.
person.
This year in video games has been down for me for the most part. There's like I don't know, one or two things that I liked, and that's and I've touched a lot of stuff for sure. And in this week while I'm off, I'm gonna try to finish a few more things, and I'm still kind of waiting for Outer Worlds 2 because that might be fun.
I'm looking forward to that one.
That's sort of my jam.
That and Black Ops 7 are kind of like the last two big things for the year that I want to be sure that I play.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Black Ops 7 only because I loved Black Ops 6 so much.
Yeah.
And I want to see if it's like a direct sequel to that story, because I definitely had questions still at the end of that one.
Yeah, I feel at the end of the year I'm just going to be the guy that's like, if you can talk me into it, I'm fine with it.
Right.
I think I got one game that I'm going to be like, this has to be here, and then I'm fine. And that's really it. But yeah. It's going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah, I think so. But I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And then who knows what happens by the time we get to our personal top 10s when we come back for season 3, because
tough to say.
It's constantly in flux up until we record that episode. But after I finished Hell Is Us, I rolled right into Silent Hill F, which I had only played a couple hours of.
Right.
I'm happy to say that a lot of my initial complaints ended up ironing themselves out as I continued in the game.
That's good.
So the weapon breaking ended up being just right.
Okay.
Where because like they don't give you very many weapons, and that's what I was worried about, because like at least in Silent Hill Downpour there were weapons all over the place, so even though they were super fragile, you always had something nearby. In Silent Hill F there's rarely a weapon nearby, but the weapon toolkits come just regularly enough, and then there are new weapons just regularly enough that, because since you don't have any firearms, it kind of is the melee version of being like, I've only got like 10 bullets left in this handgun, and I don't have ammo for any of my other guns.
Right.
I'm fucked. And then coming across like a box of shotgun shells and a box of bullets and be like, okay, I'm okay for a few encounters, right? And it's that type of edge that you're constantly walking, where it's like, oh shit, I've only got like two weapons, and one of them's like almost broken. And then you find either a new weapon, or you find something to repair the one that's almost broken, and then you bring in like the charms, where you can kind of like, you start to unlock new slots for the charms, and then you can actually start putting almost like a build together. So for like the early game, I ended up focusing my character around the focus attack, which is you hold down L2 to focus, which drains your sanity meter, but it fills up a bar, and then when it fills up all the way, you hit attack and you do like a critical.
Sure.
which will stagger an enemy, like a regular enemy, like in one shot, and then you have time to just basically finish them off.
Sure. Okay.
And then towards the end game, I ended up going towards a heavy weapon build where I was using like sledgehammers and axes. And then I had like, I think one that did more damage with a heavy weapon. And then I had another one that I think reduced the focus, time for the focus attack.
Okay.
I forget what it was, but I basically had it to where like I was doing more damage, and I think it was also like I was taking less weapon damage on heavy weapons, so they were lasting longer.
Yeah, I hadn't seen much of that game other than like the opening couple bits, and then I woke up at some point and it was on again, like because I just sleep with YouTube on a lot now, and I woke up and watched actual combat of it. I was like, this is not what I was expecting of this. I don't know what it was. It was like a lot more like you said, melee focused than it. Like it's got parries and shit. I was like, wow, this is weird.
Yeah, and it got to the point where I learned the enemies because there's not. So I got to say,
sure, yeah,
A+ monster design, some of the best in the series, in my opinion.
Awesome.
But not a lot of monster variety.
Yeah, okay.
So it has the same problem that Hell Is Us does.
Sure.
So by the end of the game, it was like, oh, I know this fight, right?
Yeah.
And so I got to the point where, especially with the charms that I had, where I was getting like health back for criticals,
right?
Or critical counters, and I was getting health back for kills. So it was like I was very survivable towards the end of the game. But that ended up being for like fine, and I actually did bump the difficulty up for New Game Plus on everything. But the other complaint that I had about where I told you how I hate it in Silent Hill games in particular, but horror games in general, where the characters don't ask questions.
Yeah.
It ended up actually playing into the overarching themes of this game in a way that I really appreciated. The initial playthrough of Silent Hill F is exceedingly frustrating as a viewer, because you're constantly like telling the character like, don't fucking do that,
right?
Or like, why are you going along with this? Like, don't like. There's so many reasons for you to not do this, and it's like you have no control. It's like you want to be able to make the decisions of the character, but then I was thinking about like, wait, this is specifically set in like the 60s in Japan,
right? Yeah, which
is a culture that even in the 21st century is known for a pretty rigid like dynamic between men and women in relationships and whatnot, and 1,000 times more that 50 years ago, right? So it really feeds into that of like she kind of ends up on this course of letting this guy like kind of decide what she's going to do, right? And it's so aggravating, and you're just like so angry by the end of the game. And that's part of it, right?
Okay.
Because then it's like, and I think listeners probably know this already, but I do think it's a good PSA, because it is very much a Nier Automata situation, where you're not intended to play this game once and put it down and you're done. You were supposed to play through it multiple times to see everything. And I did start New Game Plus after I finished it, and so I did a few things.
Sure.
I bumped the combat up to hard. I bumped the puzzles up to Lost in the Fog, which is like it starts at hard is the default, and then Lost in the Fog is like I think the max difficulty on puzzles.
Why not?
Because there's also Lost in the Fog on combat, but I wasn't confident in that yet. And then I turned it to Japanese voice, because the lip flaps are actually synced to the Japanese VO.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
makes sense.
So it felt more authentic to go with Japanese. Sure. And I really enjoyed the dub. It was great.
Sure.
But it felt, especially with the setting and the time period, it it feels way more authentic
I
to
gotcha.
play it in Japanese.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But even from the very beginning of the game, it's different.
Okay. That's cool.
And the cool thing is that since I also bumped the puzzle difficulty up, the puzzles are different. Like they're the same concept, but the solutions are different and the clues are different.
Okay, cool.
And if I have a major complaint about Silent Hill F, it's a complaint that I have about the whole series, and I realized this time around what it is.
Okay.
And it's because most of Silent Hill's puzzles historically have been very riddle based.
Yes.
But they're riddles that originated in a different language, and so things sometimes get lost in that translation.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, Neobards is not a Japanese studio. The story was written by a Japanese writer. Neobards is a Chinese studio, but you still have that, language barrier of the puzzles like translating over. Compared to like two other games that I played in between, like, Hell Is Us was one where I thought like the puzzles were like very solvable based on the information that they give you and just paying attention. And then the game I'll talk about after this. But there was definitely things in the first playthrough where I was like, I had to look it up where I was like, I have no idea what you're asking me to do here. And then when I saw what the solution was, I was like, there is no way that I would have figured
welcome to me with
out.
Just about every puzzle in a video game. So where I get irritated really quick. I'm just like, just tell me. I don't know.
This is extra egregious.
Yeah.
The scarecrow puzzle can fuck right off.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. If you know, you know.
Sure.
But yeah, so it's definitely made the game feel a lot different.
Cool.
Even I played basically up to that first, when I talked about the game the first time, like basically the first two chapters I played through again, and I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool, and I can't wait to see like where it's going, but I'm not ready to like go through a whole new playthrough yet. I might,
right?
But yeah, dude, I need to sit with it longer, and I do want to. I probably don't want to like say my final piece until I do.
Okay.
Like go
cool.
through the new game plus. Like I think you're supposed to play through it like 3 times. I think there's 5 endings, but I think you can I think you might be able to like save scum to like see a couple of them.
Okay.
So I think it might just be like 2 more full playthroughs. I'm not actually sure.
Okay.
So don't quote me on that.
I couldn't tell you.
I know there's New Game Plus and New Game Plus Plus, but I don't know if it keeps going past that. But I am very comfortable in saying that it absolutely belongs with those first 3 games.
Okay.
I don't know where it fits amongst them, but it is of that quality. Like it's the best Silent Hill since 3. In my opinion.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah. That I've played. I never got around to Shattered Memory. I know that one's
Shattered
like
Memory is pretty cool, but it's
but that's also kind of a remake. So.
It kind of it's almost a reimagining, I would almost say.
Yeah,
it's very different. So yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. I'm glad you've kind of come around on that one, I guess.
Yeah, it also I think it's smart. It feels like a PS2 game.
Sure.
Also in like certain like sensibilities where it's like, and I had to kind of have like a heart to heart with myself, because I was like, okay, these environments are super detailed, but they feel very static. Like there's not like a lot of interaction.
Sure.
There's things that feel like that I should either be able to smash them or walk through them or whatnot, and you can't do that. And so it feels very restrictive in like a PS2 / PS3 era thing. But then I was like, but does that really like change anything ultimately in the course of the game? And it's like, no, not really.
Right.
So it's like, and it feels like a game that was scoped properly and like can absolutely sit with, other AAA games and deserves like to be like a full price game.
Sure.
But it feels like a game that was like planned out accordingly, and like they didn't overstep or anything like that. And it seems like something where hopefully, like I'll be very bummed if like it comes out like 2 months from now where they're like, yeah, it's super underperformed where we were hoping it to be.
Yeah.
We were expecting it to sell like 10 million copies, and it's like, why would you ever expect it to sell?
I mean,
10
they
million
really
copies, guys?
took a shotgun approach with the Silent Hill stuff. So, I mean,
but it seems to be working out for them, right?
Because
Because
for the most part, I mean, there's definitely been a couple
Absolution,
flops. Yeah, there's been a couple flops.
Absolution is trash.
Yeah.
But like the Silent Hill 2 remake, I haven't played it yet, but I know that's good.
It's good.
It's the same team working on the Silent Hill 1 remake, so okay. And then this is like an original one, and it's fucking great. And honestly, it's like I don't know who's in charge over at Konami that was like, hey, let's make video games again. But coming off of like a really excellent remake of Metal Gear Solid 3, and then a brand new Silent Hill, I'm excited to see a few things, right? I'm excited to see a brand new Metal Gear.
That'd be fun.
Like, I would love to see that. I would love to see a brand new Castlevania. And I'd also like to see something brand new, full stop. Like, let's see a new Konami IP.
It's an interesting way to get back into that business, is to just kind of play the hits a little bit,
Sure. I mean,
it works.
I think when you've been gone that long, you need to like be able to like not only prove to the audience that like you can do it, but also like prove to yourselves like, wait, we did hire people that can do it, and and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Like, I doubt that anybody from the old guard is still around, because like they completely got out of the video games industry. They were only doing like pachinko and other businesses.
Yeah, pretty much. So
yeah,
good for them.
Can't wait for that Never Dead sequel.
I wouldn't hold your breath on that. I'm just gonna tell you.
No, it'll happen.
Okay, well,
the smash hit from the 360, Never Dead.
Yeah.
Anybody?
It was
anybody?
You could
you could throw your head.
You could throw your head. That I was just gonna say that. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the one you threw your head on, right? Like you could do a bunch of weird stuff like that.
Yeah, you could throw your arm.
Yeah.
The end. I don't know. I never played it.
I never played it either. I remember I know I've seen it. I've watched it a few times, but no.
Yeah.
Well, cool. That's good.
Yeah. And then I'll hit this one because I don't have a ton to say on this one.
Sure.
But I finished another game right after Silent Hill F, which is because I was remodeling the office and everything. I tore everything down. I was like, I'm going to grab the podcast laptop and take it into the living room one night, and I'm going to play through Dead Take.
Oh, okay.
That's that horror game starring Neil Newbon and Ben Starr. That Addy had recommended, that I bought, and then it wouldn't run properly on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And I was like, I still want to play this sucker.
Yeah.
And I played it through basically in one sitting.
Sure.
Because it's like about a 3-ish hour game.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Okay.
So basically the setup is that you're playing you are playing Neil Newbon's character, and he really wants this role, but it's gone to Ben Starr.
Okay.
And your character is trying to like he sends like a plea to this like very influential like producer who's also the writer and I don't think he's the director of this movie, but he's directed a lot of movies in the past. He's like a hugely powerful person in Hollywood. And you get like an invitation to a party, or you don't get an invitation to a party. You get an invitation to his mansion that just had a party.
Okay.
Because he says, "Oh, you should come and talk to me, and we'll because I saw your audition and there's something there, so let's talk." When you get there, there's nobody there, and you see like the aftermath of the party, and then it's just like a first person like horror game that's like very puzzle heavy on like basically just kind of trying to maneuver around this mansion, and it's very Resident Evil in some parts where it's like, oh, here's the shield room. I need to find the shield key, right? But there's also I think one of the core mechanics is that he has a theater in in the basement of his mansion, where you'll find like USB drives that have like footage on them,
Okay.
and eventually you start plugging them into the computer to first watch the footage, and then you go back and splice it with other footage to make new scenes that then unlock other things.
Okay. Sure.
Right. So that's how you're getting a lot of the backstory, and also that's where a lot of the scares are.
Okay.
And my biggest complaint about Dead Take is it doesn't come by a lot of its horror honestly. It comes by a lot of it extremely cheaply.
Okay. Yeah.
It is exactly what you
hate and
avoid
horror
with,
games?
with horror
Good.
movies. It is so much cheap jump scare bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, and it takes it. I hated it in Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
And it does the same shit that Alan Wake 2 does, where it's just like I'm just walking down this hallway and like this scary image flashed on the screen with like a screamo sound.
Right.
And it's like, you didn't need that, my dudes. Like the game is already pretty tense and creepy, and there are some good legit scares in it.
Yeah.
And then you have this cheap like boilerplate shit, and it ruins a lot of like, because then I'm like, yeah, okay, like I'm gonna open this door and there's gonna be a jump scare. Just go ahead and fucking do it. Like I don't care, right? And so at a certain point, I kind of just like checked out.
You turn off on it, yeah.
Yeah. I also think it's funny, and it was actually like, if this ever comes to console, I do want friend of the show John Gholson to play it because of the acting bent of the story.
Sure.
Because like listening to him tell me stories about like auditioning and stuff like that, and just how brutal it is, and watching him do it, right? Like I've helped him with like some auditions at this point, and like I look at stuff like that very differently, and there's a cameo by someone who's a voice actor that is doing I mean Neil Newbon and Ben Starr are also voice actors, but they also have like, Neil Newbon has like theater chops, and I think Ben Starr has been like on film as well.
Wouldn't doubt it.
But like there is a dedicated voice actor who's doing a camera facing role, and I was like, this feels like a voice actor performance in the sense of like, it feels sort of anime-ish, like in a weird way. Like I don't believe him as this character, where I probably would if this was animated.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Versus like you see Neil Newbon and Ben Starr, and it's like, God damn.
Yeah.
Right. But then there's an older woman actress who does a monologue where it's like, that is fucking acting.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And it's kind of interesting to see like the levels, right? Where it's like, this not cutting it. These guys fantastic. This is next level.
Okay. Got it. Good.
But yeah, I recommend Dead Take if you find it on a decent sale.
Sure.
Because like I said, it's a short game. It's got some good storytelling bits. It's got some good puzzles. It's got some legit scares, but it's got a lot of bullshit attached to it I feel just like really waters down the experience.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for everybody.
Yeah. But I'm glad that I played it.
Nice.
It was also nice to, like, I was like, oh man, I'm on a roll, and then the roll promptly stopped. I played other stuff during the week, but I had trouble with
it happens.
Finding something else.
It happens. It's been a year for that.
Yeah.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Visiting scenic Silent Hill? Well, bring the whole family to the Lakeside Amusement Park. We guarantee that it's fun for all ages.
Hi, I'm Robbie the Rabbit. Come on down and take a spin on the merry-go-round, catch the view from our huge Ferris wheel, and play all sorts of neat arcade games.
Lakeside Amusement Park. So much fun. You'll never want to leave.
We'll make sure of it.
But I will turn over to you for now so that I
Okay.
can rest the pipes a bit.
I don't have that much.
Motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's been a week, I guess. I watched a lot of movies, but I guess I'll talk about that maybe at the end, if I remember.
I watched a couple of movies, so
Sure.
there'll definitely
Okay,
be time.
we'll have a movie talk then.
Yeah.
But mostly what I did was I finished Hades 2. At least I rolled credits on Hades 2. I don't know if you ever actually finished that game, unless you...
Sure.
Yeah. I rolled credits on it. I got the true ending, quote unquote.
Oh, okay.
I guess. I mean...
Do you
Go ahead.
know how long that took you?
Long enough, but I'm not exactly sure. I think it took me, I'm going to say a run of that game is like, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour or something like that. Maybe that. I'm probably overestimating. And I think I did it in like 40 or 50 runs altogether. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. So did it seem shorter than Hades 1? Because
No, about the same amount of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I find that interesting because, it does sound like they kind of stealthily put Hades 3 in there
Yeah.
with that upper run.
Yeah, there is that, but the thing is you don't have to finish it as many times as you did Hades 1.
Okay.
To get the true ending bits. Like the
Right.
This one is a little bit more clear on its goals, but Hades 1 is like it can't be more clear, you just keep doing it,
Yeah.
This one has the cauldron, and that kind of leads you into like, okay, I need to get that, and that's how I get the ending. Got it. Understood. Yeah, no, I really liked it. It was great. I had a blast with it. It was fun finally getting to the final thing in the upper run, and being like, okay, that's gonna be a problem, and then just kind of like, okay, I just want to go in and learn the fight, and then randomly discovering that I had a build that was just complete cheese, and it was super great. That was fun. To anybody that has trouble on that particular final boss, if you can find the duo boon, I forget what it's Apollo and Hera. They have a boon together that makes enemies fight for you, and that guy has
I love
shit
it's like
fun.
that.
And they turn the damage up on them too. Like they dish it out for sure.
Man, that's always one of my favorite mechanics. The berserk dart in Assassin's Creed 4,
right?
I fucking love. And then like Control had like the like possess enemy.
Oh, yeah.
That was like, oh yeah, because you could just let them like thin the herd out for you.
Oh, it's especially fun on that particular run because in a certain level, to enter the next part, it launches you into the air, and then you enter the next fight like landing on somebody, and you can land on enemies and kill them instantly. So you can just hunt down like, oh, I want that to fight for me, and just land on it, and then it'll just and that's your buddy for the rest of the fight. As long as you don't get hit, it'll just clear everything out for you. It's great.
Nice.
But if you do it on the final boss of that run, oh boy, do you fuck him up pretty good. It's pretty great. Like he has an ad that will just sit there and like it when you're fighting it, it's meant to be like almost like a chain link laser type thing that you have to kind of watch out for the entire time. But the enemy will just float up by him and just sit there and ping him to death. And oh man, it practically skips the fight. So after I discovered that, I was like, well, I gotta do that every time. That was fucking great. And, and so I just started shooting for it every time. And that's part of the fun. But then I would do other stuff too. I always have fun with it. I kept discovering weird little things and stuff like that was really entertaining about it. Now, this might sound like partially down, but like I don't mean for it to be. I don't like it as much as I liked Hades 1. And the only reason I say that is I think the story in Hades 1 is a lot better personally. It's a lot more of a personal story to me. Like, well, it just personal, and it's more I don't know how to explain it. It's a good story in Hades 1. It's not a bad story here. It's just not as like gripping. Yeah, like they're when you get to the end of a run, and the first one in Hades 1, you're like, oh, that's really good. I want to see where that goes. And it goes. It's really cool. It's kind of like very heartfelt. This one's going for more like actually a Greek epic type thing, which is neat for sure, but it doesn't have the same like personal feeling to it that the original one did. At least in my opinion. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's still perfectly fine, and it's fun to, run into old friends and stuff like that throughout the whole thing. But yeah, no, it's a great game. It really is.
Cool.
I enjoyed it thoroughly, and
it's got to feel good to actually like cross something off the list.
It was.
I know
it was.
Yeah.
I think it was the day after we recorded last time that I was just like, well, I'm gonna play Hades 2 and probably play a couple runs, and then I did exactly what I said before, where I got that cheese run, and I was just like, oh shit, I feel like I'm on a roll right now. And I just kept going. I was like, man, okay, I think I figured this out. At least I figured out like my personal way to get through this. And now I'm kind of, and then once you beat it, you're kind of in fuck around mode, which is even more fun to me, because I'm like, I don't even care if I win anymore. I'm just having a good time. Let's see what shit we can do here. So yeah, like I'm still playing it. I played it more today actually, because now I'm like, okay, let me actually try to get good with some of these other weapons that I kept putting off because I just couldn't seem to get how to use them or whatever. And stuff like that. It's a cool game. Hades 2 is really good. I mean, I would expect no less, but I stand by that. I think it's a really good sequel, because it still keeps like, it's still important to play the first game. Like, it doesn't negate that game at all. That game's great on its own, but it's also its own thing, and it feels like you're still playing a Hades game, which is really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hades 2. I mean, who'd have thunk it's a good game. Yeah.
I mean, it's the first sequel that they've done also.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, it is.
There weren't guarantees,
No.
right? I mean,
You never know. They could have absolutely botched it. There's one thing that keeps nagging at me, and somebody else out there would have to confirm it, because I remember in Hades 1 that they hinted towards something else happening. Like I thought the sequel was going to go in a very different direction. And then it definitely doesn't do that here. Like, immediately when I booted it up, even in early access, I was like, I don't think this is what I expected this to be, which is fine. I just thought it was building towards something else. This one definitely, I'm like, no, it seems like they went a very different route. But I remember it building, like, it felt in the first game, it felt like they were kind of saying it without saying it. They're like, no, we're eventually you're gonna go to Olympus and fight them because they're kind of shitty. Like, it felt like they were hinting towards that, and then in this one they trying to go, no, don't worry about that. But I swear that was in the first game, but it's been a while.
It's kind of funny that it's the same like mythology, because that was something in the original God of War.
Yeah,
there was, I think after you beat the game, there was like almost like a director's cut level of like special features that you could unlock that would have like, oh, here's like concept models of some of the monsters, and here's like concept art. But there was a story that you could read that talked about Kratos's older brother that died,
right,
and was raised in Hades, and like basically saw like his brother's like triumphs from the underworld and just like grew up in Hades, like resenting his brother. And I was like, that is an awesome sequel idea.
Right,
and they
yeah.
never did
And
anything
then
with
never
it.
did anything with it. And in that one, it was like, that's a cool sequel idea. I don't know if I'd like that as much. I kind of like what they did here, maybe a little better. And maybe that's what they were thinking at the time. They don't say enough to like come right out and say, no, this is definitely what we're going to do for the sequel. So it's totally fine. Like, I'm not like, oh, that's bullshit. But I just have this like vague memory of them, of a couple conversations about that. And maybe I just totally misinterpreted them, by the way. But yeah, I even like on these like kind of subsequent runs after the true ending or whatever, I've like discovered like, because they're like, oh yeah, now it's time to go back through, and they kind of like put that as your mission, like, yeah, retrace your steps, go through, see what's changed now, and like there are little like fun things to find. Like I found like a hidden boss fight that I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's actually really smartly designed and done. I really dig that. They super wrecked my shit, but it was fine. Yeah, no, it's a really cool game. I'm still playing it. It still has that like, okay, I just let me do one more. Let me just do one more, and we'll see where that goes. And I'm always, I don't know how the hell they make that game seem so like always so fresh. Like every time you get finished with a run, like I've done, you've done it like 50 or 60 times at that point, and every time you come back, it's like, oh, this person has something new to say to you, and this person has some different dialogue, and this person, and I'm constantly like, wow. it's wild that, and it was like that in the first game too. There's one character that I'm really intrigued by, and I really want to know how to figure out the rest of their story. And and they're like kind of my favorite character to come back and talk to. There's this one ghost girl that kind of hangs out in your tent. Her name's Dora, and she has some actual shit going on, and I'm kind of really fascinated by it, and I really want to know if I can find the rest of that out. Maybe I just have to keep giving her drinks. That could possibly be it. The other cool thing that they did is when I was on the final run, I would say, and you can definitely screw up the final run, I guess, and I'm curious what happens after you do, if you do, because I kind of, it's a Chronos run, because, the whole thing is you got to kill Chronos, or you got to do it. It's a Chronos runs, and those ones, like, I was like, I got cocky on those ones. I can go in there with like, I know that shit like the back of my hand at this point. I'm a little less confident on the other one. But like I'm going through, and then it does something different right on the first boss. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's kind of a cool thing. And then there was a little subtle thing that they did because this event happened that I thought was really cool for the final run, that really added an aura to it, which was like, so Millenoi is like kind of like Zagreus, but not really, where like they're constantly, adding a little bit of dialogue, but never ever like to the point where I think it's annoying. Like, oh, they'll pick a thing up and like, maybe 1 in 5 times they'll have something to say about it, but that's about it. Or they'll get in a room and they'll announce the enemies or have a little quip or something like that. But in that particular run, she goes completely quiet, and it's very, very noticeable. And I was like, oh, this has a fucking vibe to it. Like, it's different. Right? And I wonder what happens if like you screw it up, if she actually starts talking or anything, because I'm like, oh man, that would kind of be weird. Or if they just go completely quiet until they finish that one, that would be different too. But it was cool. Good game overall.
Yeah, awesome.
Yes.
And that's what you got up to.
That's what I got up to. Hey man,
No, I get it. Yeah.
I at a certain point,
I mean, it's a beefy game. So
there was a lot. It's a lot to do, especially with the second run. But again, it's when you equate it to the first game. The first game you had to get the true ending stuff, you had to beat it about 10 times. If memory serves. This one, I think you have to do overall about 11. Like it's 6 one way, 4 or 5 the other, something like that. And so it's a lot, but like it's because there are 2 different runs, it doesn't feel like as stagnant maybe as Hades 1 did, because by the end of Hades 1 you're just like, yeah, I know what to do. like right. I know if I'm gonna be able to get through this or not. Sometimes in the different characters that you find along the way, my favorite is I won't even lie, my favorite one, and it's not really spoilers, I always forget his damn name. Oh, Dionysus. He was a god in the first game, the god of wine.
Yeah.
He's not a boon in this one, but you can.
He's one of my favorite boons in the first one.
Well, here's the thing: you can meet him now, and he's just up there having a party. Like you just walk in on his party, and that shit's great. He's just wearing a man thong and just fucking kicking it, and every time you give him a drink he's like, hey, I don't really need this, that's I don't know why you're giving this to me, but cool, thanks, I mean, I'll just add it to the pile over there. But he talks like he kind of had this vibe in the first game too, but like it's even more apparent, like he just has that like British swinger vibe to him, and it's great. Like I love it.
Oh, I got like Vegas lounge crooner.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, very much so. It's great.
Yeah.
I love his whole vibe.
Rat Pack.
It's so fun. He's great. It's especially fun to meet him and all that shit. It's cool. It's cool how they did some of the god encounters and stuff, because some of them are noticeably absent and different and all this other stuff. Yeah, 82. Who'd have thunk? Really good game.
Yeah.
The stage select is made possible through the support and funding of viewers like you. Here are our wonderful patrons.
All right. Well, before we move on, Justin, I think it's as good a time as any to thank our lovely patrons.
Okay.
We appreciate all of our lovely patrons, but every week we like to thank the executive producer tier. And executive producers, keep an eye out, because there is a special bonus episode coming to you soon. It won't be up by the time this episode goes up, but I'm hoping to get it up not long after. So keep an eye out on your feeds, and hopefully you will be pleasantly surprised. Also, I forgot to mention at the top of the show, but we do have the poll going up on the Patreon page for the next Suffer Select game. Fuck, I don't even remember. Let me pull it up real quick.
It was oh boy, the one that I picked. Oh jeez.
Yeah, the one that you picked. Yeah.
And then the one that you picked, Julian. Whoa.
And then the one that I picked.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, it was
Rail Break was mine.
Rail Break. That's Justin's nomination, and then mine was Metal Max Xeno Reborn.
Yes.
So we'll want those votes on the Patreon poll. That's open to all patrons by 7:30 Central Time on October 31st. But as far as the executive producers this week, we have Blaine Faya.
We do. We have Bill Tucker of A Gamer Looks at 40.
We have Addy XD.
We have 60 who won't stop trying.
I believe in them.
I do too, I guess.
We have Game Johnson of Retrofits.
We have Big Baker.
We have Eric Peacock of the Soundtracker Podcast.
We have Raymond Crum.
We have Dennis Robertson.
We have Matt Jorgensen.
We have Bookie.
We have David Portnov.
We have Stephen Lobo.
We have Xavier Krager.
We have Exrian.
We have Casey Curran.
And last but not least, we have Philip PK Becker.
That we do.
Thank you, everyone, for supporting the show. It means a lot.
I won't.
Worth noting that, the big shows need your money because like it's literally what they do for a living. But it also makes like smaller shows. It like, it really it lights up it lights us up when we see new people join.
Maybe I can someday. Well, okay, yeah, no, that's good. You're right. I was trying to link this in, but I can't because I'm like, no, I have one. Before that, I would like to announce the terror that happened right before Julian went into that bit where I had opened a beverage and my fingers were wet and went to the trackpad on this laptop that I'm now using to record. And I don't know if you ever tried to use a trackpad with wet hands. Don't do that. It doesn't work very well. Learned that one the hard way where I was like, oh no, nothing's moving. Drying things in a panic.
Didn't even notice. So
yeah, smooth as silk. That's how good I am at this.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see.
Let us.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just kind of go in order.
Okay.
I am now over a third of the way through Dark Deity 2.
Cool.
That strategy RPG, and it's on track to being one of my favorite games of the year.
Cool. Yeah. All right.
It was like a great recommend by Xavier when he was on. It's interesting. So I really like the way the characters are written.
Mm-hmm.
They are kind of written modern day style, Justin,
Sure.
so it might not be to your taste, but I think the dialogue is written very well. And then crucially, the way that the voice actors deliver the lines feels very natural and organic. So it doesn't feel forced.
Right.
It really does feel like these conversations are flowing like a regular conversation would.
Okay.
And I'm really digging the characters so far. Not just like their personalities, but then also like they're just the way they are. And I think so far I've got like two small complaints. One is that so far it feels like, so the way that like the shops work is that you buy like a generic rune, like a generic weapon rune that you can then, so it's like, here's a dagger rune.
Okay.
And then you equip it to a dagger, but when you equip it, you decide what you want that rune to be from a list. So there's a bunch of different like things that you can affix to your weapons that make a big difference in battle.
Sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
But like the weapons, it's also the same thing where it's like, okay, here's the shop has a longsword. And so you buy the longsword and then it's the stats don't change until you affix runes to it. So it's like basically all of my troops have already had their weapons upgraded and there hasn't been anything new added to the shop. And I'm like a third of the way through the game at this point.
It's a little bland. Yeah. To be
fair,
and Fire Emblem, the game that it's, obviously taking a lot of inspiration from, doesn't have much in the way of equipment either, though. So,
but there's kind of like tiers to it.
There are tiers. So I'll give you that. There are. I was going to say that.
Yeah, and so far that hasn't been the case unless I'm doing something wrong.
Who knows? We all might be doing something wrong. We don't know.
Right. The other thing, a little minor complaint, and it's almost like it's like a weird complaint. It's like, oh, they're too good. That's really my complaint. Is my characters are too good.
So you're just blowing through shit. Yeah.
Well, it's not so much that as I am a sucker for job changes or class changes.
Oh, right.
Like,
yeah.
I get like just super turgid.
Yeah.
For a class change.
Me too.
Yeah, but the thing is that like here the class, like you have access to like there's tiers of classes, right? And so like each base like each character, like based on what weapons they use, have access to like a certain number of tier 1 classes.
Okay.
And then there's tier 2 that unlocks at level 25. Most of my characters are level 15 right now.
Okay.
But so far everybody's starting classes have been like awesome. And so I haven't really had the need to change any. I've changed 2 people.
Okay.
And that's a little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Where I want a little bit more like, because, in like Fire Emblem, and then also I want to say Vandal Hearts was the same way. It was like, you have your starter class, and then you promote up, and then you promote up again from there. And sometimes it branches, like there's a decision to make. Yeah. That hasn't been the case here so far. It's largely been like, what am I equipping them rune wise with that changes what they're doing. But like, so like Gwyn, the main character, like she starts as a fighter, and it's like most of the time, like a lot of characters just can't do any damage to her, which is great.
Cool.
And she crits a lot, and she's also fast enough that she'll double attack a lot.
Okay.
And then if she does take damage, I have one of her special abilities augmented with Leech. So when she does that attack, she gets all of her health back.
Oh. So, yeah, pretty busted. Got it.
Yeah. And then I've got this, he's basically a tank. And he's one of my favorite characters, just personality-wise. And also, his name is Benji of the Best in Class clan.
Okay.
He's Benji Best in Class, Justin.
Okay, great.
Yeah. But yeah, and he's just incredible because he's got an excellent self-heal that makes him stronger.
Okay.
He will one-shot nearly everybody that he fights.
Good.
And it's like, and I haven't I haven't changed his class. It's like, why would I change him? Like, he's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, unless there's some other thing later on where they become like a better version of that class or something like that, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. That's odd.
Yeah, there's like a tankier version that I can turn him into, but I think he would sacrifice damage, and he's at the point right now, similar to Gwyn, where he doesn't take hardly any damage, and if he does take enough, I just have to use his self-heal.
Yeah.
And not only does he get all of his health back, but he gets stronger because of it. So it's like, what, like the only problem I've run into is I only have like 2 characters that are like that can heal other characters. One of them has like an actual heal ability.
Sure.
And the other one is actually a rogue, but she has like kind of a first aid ability.
Okay, yeah.
And so they're kind of my mainline healers. So I've really been building a lot of characters with self-heal.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of characters that I've equipped that leech upgrade to, so that they have like an ability to kind of be self-sustained, because there's no items. I think that's one thing I'm missing is there's no items that you can use to heal or buff or anything like that.
Yeah.
But that hasn't been much of a problem. There is one other point I was gonna. Oh yeah, and then like I've got this archer, and she's so busted now. And again, I don't know why I would ever change her, because I would lose this ability. But she attacks with a capuchin monkey.
That's fun.
So it's like she does her bow attack, and then the capuchin monkey comes out and does a secondary attack.
Yeah.
And then she's usually fast enough to do a follow-up after that. And I have it upgraded to where if that attack kills an enemy, the monkey steals 200 gold from them.
Okay, yeah.
So it's great. And I was like 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's
fun. That's good.
That's a very fun ability.
Yeah.
But yeah, thoroughly enjoying it. I'm glad that Xavier brought it to me, because it's like, I never would have heard about this game. I think it is coming to. I think it just came out on Switch.
I was just gonna say I looked at that, and it does seem like it's out on Switch. So
yeah. So if you're not a big PC player but you're a Switch player, like definitely you should check this game out. I highly recommend it.
Might have to try it out soon.
Yeah, I think you will dig it. I think you'll really like it. And so far the turn limit has not been an issue. If anything, it's given me like a nice little extra challenge to it.
That might be like its main hook is and why there's not as much class customization, I guess, because of the turn limit thing. Maybe they're trying to make it more of a puzzle type thing, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And I also like the way they handle death.
Okay.
So there's no permadeath in the game, but when a character falls in battle, they get a debuff for the rest of the chapter.
Okay. Yeah, that's
and
not
it'll
bad.
be something like, oh, this person's got like reduced movement. This one has like blind attack,
Right.
you know, like just different things that you cannot heal them of.
Right.
So it's just like it's almost like getting an injury in a sports game.
Yeah, okay. I can get behind that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and it's nothing that you can't overcome, right?
Yeah.
It just adds a little bit of like it's just enough incentive to not want to fuck
Right.
up,
Got it.
right? So to be more strategic.
Yeah.
And if anything, like I feel that I've been like more strategic on this one than I typically am in your average Fire Emblem game, where I tend to kind of brute force stuff a little
Right.
bit. Where here I've been like a, you know, I think partially because I don't have like a lot of like ways to heal, you know, my
Right,
party,
yeah.
and then also like wanting to protect like squishier units. Like I just got this one axe wielder who has one of his like field abilities is he can put up like an ice block, right?
Okay.
So I'll maneuver him in attacking position in a forward way in front of like a squishier person, and then put the ice block next to him before he attacks. So not only is he a wall, but then there's also like another wall right next to him that keeps people from getting around him to the squishies.
There you go.
Yeah, little things
That's
like
neat.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, really digging it.
Cool.
Hey, it's Julian in the editing bay the day after we recorded this. I'm about to talk about a game called Mad King Redemption, but I keep calling it the Mad Monarch, which is the incorrect name of the game, and I make no attempt to correct myself because I keep thinking that it's called the Mad Monarch. The Mad Monarch is a YouTube show that both me and Justin guested on a little while back earlier in the year, and I guess I just conflated the two. But the game that I'm talking about is Mad King Redemption. Okay? Okay.
And then it's it's another Steam Next Fest this week, and
Right.
since I was on the Steam Deck so much, I was kind of aware of that. So I checked out a couple things on there.
Okay.
One of which is the Mad Monarch, which is the name of that other run-based beat 'em up that I was talking about last week when I mentioned Absalom.
Sure.
So Mad Monarch is very much just like Absalom. Like I said, it's a run-based brawler. But the difference here is that it's all pixel art with like 3D backgrounds that looks cool but it just doesn't quite work. Like it feels a little weird to have a 2D character maneuvering in these like 3D environments. There's also like a surprising amount of platforming in it, which I'm not too keen on.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest issue that I have with it, and it's the reason why not that you have to choose, but like
Sure.
I would recommend getting Absalom now instead of waiting for Mad Monarch, or I mean we'll see when Mad Monarch comes out. Maybe like some of this stuff gets adjusted by the time it comes out.
Yeah.
But the biggest issue that I had was it felt that I was always trading hits with enemies, which is very much how like old school arcade beat 'em ups are.
Yes.
Which is more authentic, but in a run-based game where every hit point counts, that's not what you want.
You don't want that. No.
Yeah. And Absalom, you have a lot more I think there's a little bit more hit stop, so like you can interrupt enemies with your
Sure.
attacks, but then also if you used your heavy attack and it hits when they're attacking, you do like a clash. So instead of trading blows, it's actually like to your benefit.
Okay.
And then also you have like the deflect attack. So and there's more ways to mitigate damage and avoid damage than there is in Mad Monarch.
Yeah.
So it feels like your hit points are stretching a lot further. Now, Mad Monarch does have like a really cool like equipment element that Absalom doesn't, where it's like you can buy armor that will actually like add like a extra bar over your health bar.
Okay.
So it's like, here's a blue bar, and when that depletes, then you start losing hit points, and you can also acquire new equipment in the field. So it's got some interesting stuff. Also, the titular monarch is like who you're trying to kill.
Sure. Yeah.
But he also says, I'm the god of this realm and I want to play with you. So he actually is the one that you choose your boon from at the beginning of your run.
Huh.
And it's like a powerful attack, but it takes your health to use.
Okay. Yeah.
So it kind of also plays on like the old
I was
school
just gonna
beat 'em
say
up.
that plays on the old trope of That's
Yeah.
kind of
It's like, I'm gonna clear out these enemies, but I'm gonna lose a little bit of health.
right.
It's neat. I just think that Absalom feels like
Way better.
exponentially better to play.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Mad Monarch just feels like way too stiff.
Sure.
I also tried the demo for Star Trek Voyager something. Let me bring up my Steam so I can tell you the actual name,
Huh.
because I'm sure there's multiple Star Trek Voyager
There might be.
games.
Um.
I mean, I can think of that like light gun game from way back in the day.
Oh,
and there's that
boy.
first person shooter.
Oh boy. Is it Across
Um,
the Unknown?
Thank you.
No
It's Across
problem.
the
That's
Unknown.
the first thing that popped up on here.
Yeah. Which I had seen the trailer of, and I was very excited for it because it looked like FTL, but with Star Trek. And I was
Yeah.
like, let's fucking
That
go.
sounds cool.
Yeah. And I would love to know the story of the development of this game, Justin,
Yeah.
because playing it, I'm like, this feels like a mobile game that pivoted at
Probably
some point
was.
in development.
Yeah.
Because, like, just like presentation wise, like graphically, it's very like, oh, this is intended to be seen on a small screen.
Oh
like,
yeah.
these characters don't look great, and then also like there's like so many different currencies, like not currencies, materials, right? So you've got
of
like
course, yeah.
you got your like delirium and then your deuterium, which is like, oh man, I don't know if that's like canon, but like not
I
a good
don't
idea
know.
mechanics wise
I'd have to ask a Star Wars or Star Trek expert. See, I'm not a Star Trek expert, so there you go.
right. And I thought it was that they operated on trilithium, so
Right.
like I don't recall these, but anyway, so there's that, and then there's like fuel, and there's the crew morale, and it's like all this like bar on the top of the screen.
Sure.
It looks very mobile game style.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, so it actually mirrors a lot of the beginning of Voyager, where the Voyager gets like warped into the Delta Quadrant, and the ship is like very damaged. So like a lot of the beginning of the game is like, okay, we've got to like get life support back online. We've got to like get these crucial parts of the ship up and running.
Right.
And that takes crew resources. It takes actual resources. It also takes time. And
Boy,
it's
this
like,
sounds like a mobile game.
yeah. And I'm like, I can see a version of this where it's like the more like, oh, like by the time I get to like the 10th room that I'm trying to
Yeah.
build, it's like, oh, this is going to take 48 hours of real time.
Uh-huh.
Unless you give us some money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think it's supposed to be that. I think that's what it was going to be.
Right.
And then they pivoted, but it still has those bones.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how I feel
Huh.
about it.
Interesting.
But as far as like mimicking like the Star Trek thing, it does it pretty well, because like
Okay.
when you do like an away mission, you select who you want to take, and they have like different like attributes that will help,
Sure.
or and whatnot, and like as you go, it's almost like a choose your own adventure thing, where it's almost like a board game, or like a table, like a D&D thing,
Okay.
where it's like, here's like the text of like what's going on, and then what do you do, right? And then you basically roll against the team members like a proficiency
Right.
in whatever you're trying to accomplish. And there's diplomacy that you can do. Like you have options to like, like, do you want to just kind of go in blind? Do you want to scan things ahead of time? Stuff like that. I didn't get to any ship to ship combat, because that's the part that I remember from the trailer looking like FTL, which was like the thing that I was the most excited
Okay,
about.
yeah.
But I haven't seen that yet, because I was like, I don't know about this. And also, this is a Steam Deck problem, but it's also just an accessibility problem across the board that I've noticed more and more lately, which is a lot of games are getting like really like lax. So they're just like, we don't, yeah, we can read it. So it doesn't like, we don't need to adjust the size of this text. And it's like, you know, I am getting older, but also it's like, I can read the text just fine on my Steam Deck, but I'm like, there's no option to change the size of the text. And I'm like, I kind of want to wait to see if this comes to a console so I can play it on my TV because this is annoying.
Sometimes the trick on PC, and not every time, sometimes the trick on PC, and I don't think this would work on Steam Deck because I don't know what your options are on there. But like sometimes if you lower the resolution, the text will get bigger.
Right. Well,
not every time.
This game, at least in the demo version, like the only option was gamma.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah, okay. Go fuck yourself, basically.
Basically. So it's not an immediate no.
Okay.
But it's not what I was initially hoping for.
You're not over the moon about it either. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, I think I'm have my fingers crossed to see if there's a console version that comes down the pike.
It almost sounds like either that or wait for it to go on a really big sale or something, you know, like that kind of sounds like that kind of game to me. Like, oh, I picked it up for a couple bucks and had a good time with it for an hour or two, and that was that.
Well, but I think I would still, unless they add the option later to change the text, like I think it's just annoying enough that I would want to at least play it on a laptop screen.
No, that's exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, and so after I finished those 3 games, I was really trying, like my thing, because I was like, okay, now it's time to play Ghost of Yotei.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm having a real hard time getting into Ghost of Yotei.
You said that, and that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said last time, I remember the combat feeling different in Ghost of Tsushima, but it might just be that I don't remember it because Yotei feels very loose to me in a way that I don't like. And part of it is that there is like the targeting is very soft.
Sure. Yeah.
And so like a good example is like if you use your heavy attack, you can eventually break someone's stance.
Right.
But there's times when I'll do that and then I will press like my attack button again and Atsu will attack past them.
Oh.
Like she'll whiff. And it's like I didn't do anything other than like change from heavy attack to light attack.
Yeah.
And it feels like she should just automatically follow up on the guy whose guard she just broke.
Yeah.
But she doesn't, and that feels really weird.
Interesting.
And yeah, like I don't know. It's fine. There's also been like way less opportunity for stealth so far.
Interesting.
But I'm only like 5 hours into it. I have not been able to like really play it for more than an hour at a time because I'm like, I kind of want to do something else.
It's not a great sign usually. That is usually the kiss of death for me when I start to feel like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's weird because there's a lot of like I really like a lot of stuff. Like it feels like a lot more organic than the last game as far as finding stuff.
I've heard that aspect of it. Yeah.
Yeah, like you know, so one of the things is like I think they did this in the last game too, where like there's shrines where you get your new abilities. Yes. And excuse me. Almost every time that I've gone to search for one of those, it has dovetailed into like another side activity that's kind of in the same area. So it feels very like you were on your way here anyway, and we know that, but there's also this bounty in your way. Like you can go do that if you want. And that's really cool because kind of like
good design. Yeah.
Yeah, you're always kind of killing 2 birds with one stone, even if you didn't know
you were
aiming for 2 birds originally.
Pretty good.
It also does seem like it's a smaller overall patch of like the area is overall smaller than Tsushima, which
that's fine.
Might be
that's
good.
Probably for good. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there was a mainline story thing that I will talk about in depth because I really loved this.
Okay.
Which is and you know, you've got like a bunch of leads when you first start the game.
Yeah.
But one of them was find the dual katana master, and I was like, well, I fucking want dual katanas.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go do that first.
Right.
And so you go find him. He's like living, you know, on a mountain. So you've got to reach him first.
Right.
And then he doesn't want to train you. And he's like, well, okay, I'll give you a test. If you can do good at this, then like I'll think about training you. And so he like throws these hot coals at you, and you have to like basically slice them out of the air.
Okay.
And I was like getting like every third one of them, and I was like, this feels terrible. Like,
oh boy,
you set me up for failure.
Yeah.
But then he's like, okay, you show a glimmer of hope.
Right.
So training starts in the morning. And so then he has you, like he says, like basically like your left arm is weak and we need to work on that. So you're going to chop this bamboo with only your left arm.
Uh-huh.
And so you do the normal bamboo strike, but like the inputs for them are like super awkward because it's like L1, L3, then like left down, and like that shit. And it's like you can barely do it, and it feels bad to do.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, oh, I'm not liking this.
Yeah.
And then the next day you do it again, and the L3 input is gone.
Okay.
And then you do it again the next day, and it's like, oh, now it's just D-pad.
Okay.
Right. And so it does this awesome
That's
job
cool.
of like
that's actually
showing
really great.
you getting better.
Yeah,
right.
that's cool.
And it's done through the game mechanics.
That's good.
And then
that's good.
He's like, okay, you know, let's try it again. Let's go to the coals.
Yeah.
And he starts bringing the coals out to you, and now you have the two katanas, and you're just slicing them both. You know, and it like that's what you were missing was the other blade.
Right.
And it's like such an
cool.
those are the moments that I love about video games where you've got the storytelling and the game mechanic
Right.
like merging into one thing.
That's pretty good.
And I was like, okay, if it's more of this, then I'm like super on board.
Right.
I just don't think I'm in the mood for it right now.
Might be a mood thing. Yeah. Hard to say.
And I think a big thing for me I think it was mood because I like think about what I just played. I played Hell Is Us.
You played a
super dire game. Silent Hill F, super dire game.
Mm-hmm.
Dead Take, super dire game.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, I think I just need something different. And I had to play Bratz Rhythm and Style for Suffer Select, and I decided to buy that on the Switch. And I was like, well, while I'm here, let me go ahead and buy Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's what I got yesterday. That game is a fucking delight, Justin.
Nice. I'm glad.
It's man, I really do feel that they should have launched with that game. They should have waited a month.
Should have, yeah.
And launched with that game, because it's like once you start like punching around and seeing like how much destruction you can do, it feels like, oh, this is something that the Switch could never dream of doing. Right. And it feels new and it feels fresh.
That's good.
And you know, like I said before, I really love Donkey Kong's new design. I love his animations. Like, you know, it's your typical Nintendo thing where the main character's not going to say shit, but at least he's a lot more animated than a lot of the other Nintendo characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like even more than Mario.
Sure.
I think Mario tends to get by on just like
being Mario.
I don't know. Like Mario gets by on the other characters around him doing shit.
Yeah.
I think that helps with his stuff. But Donkey Kong is very much reacting to stuff in a more like animated way that feels real fun. I did change the button layout because you have a forward punch, you have an upwards punch, and you have a downward smash. But the default setup is that the jump button is on the equivalent of it's like the right button on the cross instead of the bottom button on the cross.
Okay.
And no. Like, no.
Okay.
Just no. Like, we've been using that button to jump for 30 years. Like, I don't know. And especially because it's like, why wouldn't you want the down punch like next to the up punch. Like that just makes sense. I guess I can kind of see where if you're looking at the cross, it's actually up and down. But
Sure.
no. But once I changed that, it was fine.
There you go.
But I think that's probably what I'm going to mainline.
There you go. Sounds good.
Definitely this weekend. Like today, I didn't get time to play anything, and we'll talk about it because I actually went to see a movie.
Oh, there you go.
But this weekend, like that's what I'm going to focus on, and then I think that's probably going to be like next week is that's going to be the game.
Yeah.
And then I'll try to go back to Yotei or maybe Death Stranding.
That sounds good.
So I do feel like I need to finish that one. I need to know, but
I don't. I'm good, actually.
Yeah.
I got to the server. I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm actually okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that was games for me. It was a lot.
That's
not as much as I wanted.
Yeah. I'm hoping this upcoming week I get to put some time in on actual video games because
Yeah.
It's been a bit.
I still want to go back and mop up Pirate Yakuza because I think that game is hiding like some really fun stuff in there that I need to see.
Yeah, that's one I probably might just have to double dip on and play while I'm here because I've been meaning to play it for a while. So
yeah,
still downloaded on my PC. I just never actually booted it up. So there you go.
Right. I'd still like to finish the altars.
Sure.
But I think the ship may have sailed on Avowed and Doom.
Yeah.
Like we're really kind of.
God, I forgot Doom even came out this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
and then considering that between Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed, I would rather play Outer Worlds 2.
That's me. Yeah, Avowed as soon as I figured out that it was part of the what is that? The one
Pillars
of Eternity. Yeah.
Yeah.
And not a knock against it. I was just like, oh, well, I haven't played those games. I don't really know this world. And I feel like I'm missing stuff already because I don't know these references. That was a turnoff for me, like really almost immediately. So, and I'm sure it's a great game. If maybe, I don't know.
To me, it seemed like it was probably doing what it needed to do to get you up to speed on whatever you needed to know. Because it does take place in Fantasy Australia, so it's separated from
Fantasy Australia. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
But even so, like just thematically, because we both really loved Outer Worlds. Yeah. So I'm more interested in continuing that.
Yeah, that one I'm way more invested in. I definitely have to see what they did with it. So
yeah. I want to see if we get to like hang out with Parvati again in any way, shape, or form.
I don't know.
Probably not, but
probably not. Which is fine.
Yeah. I mean the characters were so well written that I'm just if it's a whole new cast with like, no connection to the first one, I'm fine with that too.
It'd be fun.
Like, I like those corporations and the setup.
It's zany. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's a fun game.
Yeah. But yeah, and I'm definitely going to finish Dark Deity too.
Sounds like
and yeah, we'll see. We're definitely it's end of the year is rapidly approaching. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I know it is kind of wild. I know. I feel the pressure.
Like we'll be recording our the Game Awards thing before you know it. Like that's like mid-December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
One last thing that I forgot to mention, and it's literally just a mention.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, go ahead.
I forgot that last weekend my friend and I, we officially completed Endwalker and started Dawn Trail on Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, cool.
So I'm excited to see what the hubbub is, because people have been so down on this expansion, and it's been like, Final Fantasy XIV is in dire straits, and it's like, you're not going to give this team the benefit of the doubt on like one like slightly down expansion after like a decade straight of bangers. Like, really?
Right, yeah.
Really? Okay. Because like the complaint seems to stem from we don't like that we're not the main character of this story, and we don't like Wook Lamont. And I'm like, it was always pitched as the vacation arc.
That's what I always remember hearing about it.
Yeah. And I've only had Wook Lamont for 3 hours, but if anything happens to her, I'll kill everyone in this room and then myself.
There you go.
Because she's awesome.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm interested so far.
Cool.
We'll see.
For sure.
But yeah, it took a long time to get there. Like literally, like I think they're supposed to announce. I think there's a fan fest coming like first quarter of next year where they should announce like the next expansion. So
Yeah.
You know, but as I learned, because like I think I got current like right when Endwalker came out.
Okay.
And realized, oh, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like
right.
the Final Fantasy 14 players just have no chill and have to like consume everything immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, so it really doesn't matter. Like I'm always going to be
a little
behind,
behind,
even if it's like
yeah.
week 1.
Yeah, pretty much.
At that point, everybody's already run the dungeons like 18 times.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
People on MMOs are nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we watched some movies, I'm pretty sure. I have to think of all the ones that I watched, so that'll be interesting. I
don't mention the one thing because I'm trying to do light editing on this episode. I don't want to bleep it out for the secret thing that we did.
Oh yeah, no. I won't mention that. Let's see what. I'll start here. I watched. I meant to talk about this last week, but I'm remembering to talk about it now. I watched the new I Know What You Did Last Summer movie. Man, that's a weird movie.
Yeah, I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah.
I remembered seeing a poster for it at the theater, and I thought it was a poster for like a re-release of the original. And then literally that day I saw the trailer and I was like, so it's a remake, and I don't know how I feel about remakes of movies that came out during my lifetime. Yeah. But then it's not because Jennifer Love Hewitt's there.
It's not a remake. No.
Yeah.
It's
but that doesn't.
It's
I mean, you
weird.
saw it. It doesn't make any goddamn sense, Justin.
No, they named it
like just the premise of it. Like,
okay, the premise is so weird. Well, I mean, it's the same thing as the original, right? Like, okay, they cause a thing that then the person comes back and they're trying to murder him. That's it. That's the premise. But
with the same shtick as the dead murderer from the last.
I will say
Kids.
they do make that make sense at the end. I'm like, okay, all right,
okay,
sure, I get where you're coming from on that. The thing that befuddles me is like, okay, I love
it when you're befuddled.
Yeah,
Justin.
I hated the initial incident of it because I was sitting there like, okay, I can see how this is kind of a problem, but like, I don't know if that's that bad. Like, so because okay. Spoilers for this movie, and only in the beginning. This is just the initial incident that causes the whole thing, right? They go out and they're having like this girl comes back. She's been away from a while. She's gonna go hang out with her friends. There's a big like engagement party. I think it's an engagement party. And they're all old friends. They go and pick up this other girl, and then they go out driving. I don't remember exactly how the first one goes. It's been years and years. I remember I seen bits and pieces of the original when it first came out. I think it was like they hit somebody. They hit somebody, right? In the first one?
Yeah, so they hit somebody with their car. They think they killed him.
Right.
and they're like, hey, we just graduated, like we're gonna fuck up our entire lives
Right.
if we call the cops, so they just leave.
Right.
And then next year they start getting notes of I know what you did last summer.
Right. Yes.
And it's honestly like one of like, because I don't like slasher flicks.
Yeah.
I know what you did last summer. I've only seen it the one time, but I loved it because of the way that the killer would fuck with them.
Yeah.
Because he would like cause one of them to see a body,
Mm.
and then when they would go to try to get help, he would have then removed the body, so they just looked crazy.
Right.
And it was like, so then people stopped believing them, and meanwhile he was just like slowly whittling them down, and it was like this really like cerebral take on it.
Nothing
that I appreciate.
None of that in this movie. I'm going to tell you that straight up.
Yeah.
At least
I mean, I still know what you did. Also, didn't have that.
Yeah.
It was just a slasher flick.
Also, I still know what you did last summer doesn't fucking make any sense because doesn't it take place a few summers after that? How many?
I mean, I think it's the summer after. So yeah.
So what? Yeah, you wouldn't still know what you did last summer.
Yeah. It should be. I still know what you did the summer before last.
Yeah, something like it. Time, continuity wise, it just doesn't. That's not how time works.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lonnie, for pointing that out. I remember that was. I remember him saying that. I was like, "You're right. I never thought about it, but you're right. That doesn't make any sense." But no, this one. Okay, so the incident that causes it this time is like they stop on a curve. And they get out because they're enjoying the scenery. Now, they have been smoking pot, I think, and possibly drinking. I don't remember. But they get out of their car, and the one dude's kind of a douchebag, and he just stands in the middle of the road. And because he's like, nobody comes through here. And then somebody comes through there. But the first car doesn't hit him, and nothing happens. But then the second car comes when he's turned his back because it's that kind of movie. And then they run off the road, and I'm just like, they just were just there, like they were just, and that's a problem, I guess. I don't know. It was weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how I felt. I was like, because the entire time I'm like, They're like, well, it's manslaughter. I'm like, is it though? I don't know the extent of the law. I'm sure it is, maybe, but I don't know. It was.
Yeah, I never know about that stuff because like I almost ran over a girl in my neighborhood literally like before we recorded this show because she was on one of those like motorized scooters and just like took off across the main road without looking at anything, and I had to slam on my brakes to not run her over. And I'm like, that shouldn't be my fault if I hit her.
You know what I mean? Like that's. I mean, okay, what if their car just randomly broke down on that curve? Like, and because there was no real place to pull off on the side of the road, so they're just kind of stuck there, right? Like, if you had a car issue, like, I don't know, this feels off to me. I don't know. That was my initial thing. I don't know. It was just kind of a boring movie. Like, it was fine, but like, they had a lot of. I think their big thing was like, we're gonna get Jennifer Love Hewitt back, and we're gonna get some of the original cast back. Freddie Prinze Jr. I think is also in it.
I mean, that's the original surviving cast.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure.
One thing that I did here that I thought was hilarious was people asking Sarah Michelle Gellar if she was going to return, and she was like, "No, I'm dead."
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It was fine. It was definitely a movie I watched. I remember getting done with it. I was like, yeah, that was okay. I guess that's
it's thing. Definitely a big, like what I've been on about lately with like this like weaponized nostalgia where it's like, I'm fine with either if you want to remake it or whatever. It's like, but like, don't bring back Jennifer Love Hewitt and don't have her whisper, "What are you waiting for?" Like, just fuck no. Like, you don't. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a whole thing. Like I said, they did manage to make a lot of it make sense, but especially because the killer's like kind of the same from the beginning, the first one. Like I had to look up. I was like, okay, because it had been a long time. I was like, who did the killer survive in the first one? Is that's why this is happening again? And like he's just like, oh, these kids I know. And he's just upset about it. I don't really, and I was like, no, all that got resolved. I was like, okay, so something's going on, and I guess they tie that stuff together. I give them credit there. It's set up for more a sequel, so there might be another I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. It resolves in one of the weirdest fucking ways ever. They reveal like a major thing for like going forward that in like just the most like weird offhanded conversation between two people. I was like, that feels like that should have had a bigger reveal than what we just did, but okay, fuck it, whatever. Who am I? Yeah, weird movie. God, what else did I watch? New stuff wise. There's a new movie, I think it might be Amazon Prime related, that Kim and I watched. It's a horror movie. It's called Vicious. Have you heard of that
not
one?
Familiar.
It has one of the Fannings, Dakota Fanning, I think. It was written by the guy who wrote The Strangers. So the entire concept of it is this lady shows up and gives Dakota Fanning a box. My funny explanation of the movie when I'll tell this story. Kim showed me the preview of it, and she was like, "So you." And we go sit down and watch it, and she's like, "So you were paying attention to the preview, right? You know what this is about?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She gets a box, and she has to put things in the box. That's the whole movie, right? Like she's got to put stuff in the box. And she's like, "That's it." She puts stuff in the box. That's all that happens. I'm like, "Yeah, no, you just put stuff in the box. It's fine. It's a movie about putting things in boxes." I mean, it kind of is. No, it's
How often does Kim just glare at you?
a good amount of time, but she knows me. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Let's see. So she gets this box, and this old lady is like, "Okay, you're gonna die tonight. It's gonna happen. Sorry about that. But you got, and you might be able to not die if you put stuff in this box." Again, it's kind of it, but it's like you have to put something that you love and something that you hate, something that you need, all this other shit. And it's a weird movie. It starts out kind of strong, like it's pretty creepy for a while. And then it's after a bit, I was like, kind of like, where the fuck is this going exactly? Like a lot of it, I was like, I don't know if I fully get it, but it was interesting. It was very interesting, and like it had a good creep factor to it for sure. There's definitely some real very creepy shit that happens in it. It's definitely worth a watch. It reminded me of this other movie that I remember I watched. I cannot remember the fucking name of it to save my life. Where and really, if I tell the concept of it, it spoils the entire thing of this movie, so I'm not going to do it.
Sure.
But yeah, it reminded me of another movie we watched too. But yeah, like it's something different. Like some of it actually reminded me of Silent Hill. There's a lot of mirror stuff. There's, or at least a decent amount of mirror stuff. There's a lot of watching of videotapes and weird, like almost riddle like shit going on in the videotape type stuff, if that makes sense, which for some reason very much reminds me of Silent Hill. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, it kind of goes along with, well, I mean, obviously the VHS tape in 2, but then it also kind of recalls like the weird like PA bits in like the elevator and stuff like that.
it's also kind of feels Silent Hill-ish in the way that it's almost like a personal hell type thing happening too, which is interesting. So yeah, it has some shit. It's, again, I'm not fully sure that it gets where it wants to go at the end of it, but it's an interesting movie. I wasn't like, oh, that was fucking awful when I got done with it.
On that track,
Sure.
Did you ever get around to watching Longlegs?
No, that's one I should watch one of these days.
Yeah,
Might have
I'd be
to.
curious to see what you think about that one.
Yeah.
I know it's pretty divisive. But
Yeah, I remember Kim was not a fan of it. I remember that. But so I might, but I think she, or maybe she, I don't know. Sometimes she mixes me up. I can't remember. She watches a lot of movies.
I really enjoyed it, but the reason I bring it up is because, and I think I had told you like the first, like when I watched it, was there's a part where I swear they made up one of the characters to look like a Silent Hill character, like just
Oh, sure.
in terms of like her wardrobe and kind of the way that like her eyes shine in the
Right,
shots, like just really looks like a Silent Hill 1 and 2 character.
Yeah. Oh, what else did we watch? We watched Halloween, the Rob Zombie remake and the original one, because we watched the Rob Zombie remake first because I had never seen it. I didn't really particularly care for it. I think I just don't like his style of doing anything. That includes movies and music. I don't think I'm a big fan of his.
I don't think that I've seen any of his movies because I really hold Dracula against him.
Yeah, that's fair. As we all should, really. We should hold somebody responsible for it, God damn it. But yeah, like, it's funny. So I watched the remake, and I'm sitting there going, like, the original didn't have like a lot of this, right? Like, it was just like it was like Michael Myers breaks out of the mental hospital. He's gonna go back to this hometown and he's gonna do some murders, and you're like, all right, cool. And he's gonna do some creepy murders. And this one is like, but what if we told what Michael Myers was like as a child? And it's like, I don't know if I needed all of this, actually. I feel like it's kind of a lot worse, actually. It was weird that there was a child Michael Myers who had speaking lines. I was like, you didn't need this. You just didn't.
Yeah.
Where the first movie is just like, here's child Michael Myers. He murders his sister, and we're off to the races, and that's it. The rest is him.
He doesn't fall in love with a princess that's like 10 years older than him, and then like race for his freedom from slavery.
No.
Okay.
I don't think that happened. At all. The funny things about the original that I completely forgot. So there are things from the remake that they brought over that I was like, that's not in the original, is it? And then I watched the original. I'm like, oh, it super is in there, huh? Weird. That's funny. But the one thing that is in the original that kept cracking me up, that even Kim caught on to, because she had said it had been a long time since she watched it. She was like Michael Myers just stalks the main what's her name? Jamie Lee Curtis. She just stalks her. He stalks her in a car, and she's like, "Where did he learn to drive? Like, when did that happen?" Like, he went to this place as a child. How did he learn to drive? And I'm like, you know what? He's just really good at it. Shut up. He's naturally talented.
Yeah.
Just don't question it. He's really good at driving. Yeah, they cut that out of the remake. I'll give him credit for that. But yeah, weird movies. Or the original is kind of fun still, for what it is. That was actually one of the first horror movies I ever watched. And with a lot of the scenes censored because my friend's mom showed it to us and knew when to fast forward. Good on her. But yeah, the remake, I was there was also, man, he put like all these weird fucking cuts in there. Like all of a sudden it would just like randomly fade to black. And I was like, that was really odd. Why did he do that? Like, and I'm not sure. Maybe that was because we were watching it on a streaming thing, and maybe it was doing it for ads, but there would be no ad after it. It was weird. I don't know what was going on with that. So if anybody knows, and they're like, that's not actually a thing, please feel free to correct me. What else did I watch? I watched probably my favorite new thing that I watched was the 2023 Dungeons and Dragons movie, Honor Among Thieves. That movie's great. That movie's really good.
So fun.
It is a lot of. I went into that with like kind of low expectations. I was like, I've heard it's pretty good. A lot of people seem to like it. A lot of people really want like a sequel to it and stuff like that. I don't know if it's going to particularly be my thing. And then it opens up and I'm just like, this is actually funny. Like, I didn't expect this to be like, I expected it to try to be funny. That was my expectation. I was like, this movie's probably going to try to be funny and I'm not going to laugh. And that's probably going to be the death nail for it. And I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, no, this is actually fucking funny. This is actually pretty good.
The marketing of that movie was very worrisome for me.
I believe it.
I also did not expect to enjoy that movie, and I think I went to go see it in the theater kind of on a lark, and I was like, man, I don't know about this. And then I was like super happy. With it.
No, I mean, right from the get-go, I'm sitting there like, this bit is a good bit. I really like this.
Him jumping out the window, they're like, we were about to pardon you.
Oh yeah, this shit's great. It's perfect. Oh man, the fucking the speak with the dead stuff. It also was really nice to watch after post playing Baldur's Gate 3, because like I'm not the most well versed on Dungeons and Dragons stuff, but I learned a lot from playing that game. And since it's set in the same world and has, Baldur's Gate's mentioned by name and stuff like that, and I've heard of Neverwinter and all this stuff, I've and use some of the spells that they're using and stuff like that. I was like, oh no, okay, I know what's going on, and I kind of get it more. And this is a real fun take on it, honestly. Like it's their own little roguish band just running amok and doing stuff. But and then the ending is like surprisingly very heartfelt. Like I got to the end, I was like, this is a great movie. What the fuck? I'm honestly very pleasantly surprised by this.
Me too. I felt that movie deserved to do way better than it did.
Yeah. I think honestly, Dungeons and Dragons, when it comes to like film, has kind of a rough history, and it's kind of a, it's.
Oh, I watched that early aughts one in the theater. That was garbage.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. And
not even Jeremy Irons could save that movie.
Yeah, it's rough. It's and so I think people go in with certain expectations, and that's kind of fair. But
it was also just nice to see a really good fantasy movie, because fantasy gets like an even shorter shrift than sci-fi in film, and especially post Game of Thrones, everybody wants fantasy to be like very gritty and down to earth, and like I want magic and I want like crazy monsters and that type of shit, and I rarely get to see that in movies.
No, and it's all over here. It's really, if you've never seen it, it's very good. I highly recommend it. Again, a lot funnier than I expected it to be, a lot more heartfelt than I expected it to be. Like real fun action scenes, real neat little references, especially if you played Baldur's Gate 3 and stuff like that. If that's your, I'm sure a lot of people listening to this have probably dabble in Dungeons and Dragons to some degree, whether it be video games or the actual tabletop game. And if you,
I mean, it's bigger than it's ever been, but especially post Baldur's Gate 3.
That between that and what Critical Role or whatever, that was giant. Still is, I'm guessing. Very popular. So I'm guessing people dabbled to some degree. And if you haven't seen that movie, you should see it. It's actually quite good. Can't recommend it enough.
Props to Michelle Rodriguez for growing out her underarm hair for the barbarian role.
Yeah, she's actually a great character too.
I love Michelle Rodriguez. I love to see her kick ass,
yeah,
man.
no,
Like,
she does great, and she like actually fits the role really well. Like it's great job all around. Yeah, the kid from oh god, he's Detective Pikachu's there. He does great. He's also in the Quarry, which I immediately, that's where I recognize him from immediately. Like, oh, the kid from the Quarry, that's cool. And then I was like, I know this guy from other stuff. What else do I know him from?
he's definitely Detective Pikachu guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
totally understandably.
Yeah,
so.
and then Hugh Grant.
Hugh
just
Grant's
like
great in it. Oh god,
great.
he's awesome.
Great villain.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely worth watching. Trying to think if I watched anything else new that I can remember. I think that might be it. I did rewatch Sin City, and I haven't watched that in years. That movie's still fun. Despite that's a very fun film. You know what was fun about watching it this many years later is how many of the lines I still remember was hilarious, because I'm the opening of the movie starts and I'm just like quoting it line for line. I'm like, I can't believe I still fucking remember all this. But I watched that movie a lot.
Me too, man.
Yeah, that was all my friends are here, we're getting stoned, fuck it, turn on Sin City, it's something to watch. What was the
It's got you emotional, it's got you nervous. Yeah, smoking, yeah. The that's the Tarantino scene that he directed.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, the other part of that movie is there's a fun Nick Offerman cameo in it that I didn't even realize he was in that movie until, this many years later, when you can look on the internet and see that. He plays such a bit role. It's do you remember the guys they're like, it's like a duo of them, and they steal a sports car and they're going to pick up Bruce Willis from these guys hung him or whatever, and he survives the hanging. They're going to put him in the trunk and get rid of the body. Nick Offerman's like the heavyset dude in it. I was like, oh shit, I would have never realized that's who that was without looking. I was like, that's kind of awesome. Look where he is now. That's fun. But yeah, that's the movie's so fun.
The twins in there were actually like acting friends of my friend that was the owner of Game Fellas.
Cool. Yeah.
Still
a very fun movie. I'm almost really curious. I might have to go watch the sequel, even though I remember hating it.
I liked the sequel.
Yeah.
And I still wish that they would tell the rest of the stories. I don't know how many more are left.
I don't think there are any.
Did they cover them all through those two movies?
Let me see.
I've never read Sin City.
Okay, so I think there's 3 that are in the first movie, right? There's The Hard Goodbye, that's the Marv one. There's That Yellow Bastard, that's the Bruce Willis one.
Mardigan.
And then what was the other one? The one with the girls and all that stuff. I forget what that one's called. So 3. There's, I think, only
technically 4 because the intro one is like also
that feels like it's a full-blown story. It's not. That is part in the actual comic. There is one of the comics is actually a series of just like really tiny short stories. And that's one of those. They and actually some of the stuff in the movie is added. Like the ending scene of Sin City is actually not in any of the comics that I remember. Like where the one girl that calls in all the girls in Old Town or whatever gets assassinated, presumably in the elevator. That's not in the comics anywhere. Like that's an added thing because and in fact, like if I remember in the comic, like it's her, but I think she just kind of disappears after certain things happen. So they kind of just worked that in, if I remember correctly. I could be way off base. It's been a long time. But yeah, that movie's still fun. It's still a fun movie.
Yeah.
I very curious how I would feel about the sequel now. Because like I said, I remember really disliking it, but maybe my opinion will change years later. Especially if I have way lower expectations going in. So, yeah.
If I get to see Ava Green naked, I can forgive a lot. Because I also really enjoy like the 300 sequel.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim keeps telling me the 300 sequel is worth watching, and I'm like, I don't know.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, all right. I'll take your word for it.
But it also has Ava Green naked,
That's
so
fair. That's
take
fair.
it with a grain
That's
of salt.
I mean, Sin City 2, that it's fun. I think my disappointment factor came from reading the comics and reading that story is one that's like not in the movie, right? Let's pretend Sin City 2 didn't exist. That one, I remember being like, oh, this is actually a really cool little story, and it actually explains certain things that were in the first one that they just kind of let you figure out, I guess. Like little one-liners about like how a guy, Clive Owen's characters, like when you're a dude with a different face and who's like one wrong move away from the gas chamber or some shit like that, and it's like, what is he talking about, different face? And like that's the whole story leading up to that. I was like, oh, now I get it because I read the comic.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I got it from like the conversations, but
right.
I was always curious about like, oh, I want to see like where he was before.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, and that was all in there, and it was a cool story, and I remember being kind of let down by the movie version of it, and then they added the ending part to it, and I just remember being like really not into it.
To be fair, I've only seen it once,
right?
So yeah,
I can't remember what the other story they tell in Sin City 2 is. It's been a while. Because I know it's Dame to Kill For. That's the first one. Fuck, I'm not even gonna look it up. Anyway, Sin City original one's fun. Yeah, that's kind of all the movies we've been watching Jaws. That's actually a really fun movie. I've seen that before.
I love Jaws.
Going back years later, because I watched it as a kid and was like, oh yeah, that was cool, the shark. But I was like really too young to get a lot of some of the subtlety and stuff in it. Like, man, that old grizzled sailor dude is fucking awesome. That character is great. I'm just sitting there like entranced during the scene where they're like sitting around the table and shit. I was like, man, if I was a kid, I would be like, this is really boring. I want to see the shark eat a man. When does that happen? Now as an adult, I'm like, this is fucking awesome. This is really good. This is a great movie.
Yeah. And I saw it as an adult.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see it until I was like almost 30 for the first time, and I still think like one of the scariest shots I've ever seen in a movie is when he's putting the chum in the water and Jaws just comes out with like no fanfare because we've been conditioned to hear the music.
Yeah, they let that build like a long time too, because it's a lot of them on the boat just kind of like, maybe he's gonna show up, but I don't know. Well, but the guy's like, no, we'll get him. You just gotta wait, and it's a lot of waiting, and then it happens, and that's when you get we're gonna need a bigger boat line. Great. We're at the diving cage scene right now, and then I had to stop to do the podcast, but it was that's a great movie still. Kim likes the sequels, and I can't wait to make fun of the sequels.
I've never seen any of them.
I
feel like one was enough. Like,
I'm gonna offend everyone where I say it's a Rocky situation where they did not need to make more than one of them. Fight me.
Have you seen any of the Rocky movies?
The original Rock. I've seen I think I've seen almost all of them. I haven't seen the newer ones. The newer ones I haven't seen. I would like to,
because Rocky is on my Cinemorons list.
The original Rocky is an amazing movie.
It is, yes, and I want to talk about
everything.
Rocky Balboa is great.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
I think everything after that in the, you know, original, you know, 4 movie run, or actually 5 was it 5? Yeah, the 5th movie.
We all like to pretend that 5
I like to
didn't
pretend
happen.
the 5th one doesn't exist too.
Yeah.
But I really don't like any of the other ones other than the original. I think the other ones kind of miss the point personally.
They kind of
yeah.
do, because the original one is not a boxing movie. It's a romantic drama.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are boxing
It's
movies.
about a man who doesn't stand a chance and he loses, but he does way better than anybody ever thought he was going to do. And that's a victory all on its own. And then all of a sudden he became the best fucking boxer ever. And it's like, no, stop. That's not the fucking point. He's not supposed to stand a chance against this guy. This guy is clearly better than him. But he, you know, it's all about his heart in the fight. Okay. God damn it. I think about Rocky and I get mad. Because every time I hear somebody like, but Rocky 4 is really good. I'm like, no, fuck Rocky 4. That shit's bullshit.
But let me submit to you, Clubber Lang. With those hooks.
Yeah, sure.
Those hooks just always look so painful.
Yeah, sure. I'll give it to you. They're fun. I'll grant you 2 through 4 are fun movies. They are fun movies.
They are, yeah.
I will not take that away from anybody. They are very fun movies.
Yeah. But much like every Rambo movie after First Blood, they miss the point of the original. Yeah. No, I agree. I also saw a movie that I meant to mention last week that I forgot. Which is I decided to watch Black Phone because I had seen the trailer for the sequel and I was curious.
I keep forgetting to mention I watched Black Phone. So yes, let's.
No, you did. You had mentioned.
Oh, did I? Okay,
yeah.
All right.
And because the trailer for the sequel looked really good. I had not seen anything on the original Black Phone other than the poster.
Sure,
I didn't know anything about it. To the point that like I was very surprised when the movie started and I was like, oh, this is a period piece.
Yes. Yeah.
Like it's set in the 70s because like the trailer for the sequel, I didn't get that vibe.
No.
That it's set in the past. Other than like, you know, they're using an old phone, but like there's still, you know, some payphones around. Right. So I was just like, whatever. It's good. I liked it.
Your response is right on par with mine so far. Yeah.
I really liked Ethan Hawke. Like I think like his performance is really good.
Is very good. Yes.
Yeah. I think for me and look, I'm harboring like a lot of rage just in general because waves hands to the universe.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's coloring like a lot of my like emotions with certain things, but when you are a captive and you have literally said out loud, I'm not getting out of here, and at that point have nothing to lose and are given a fucking glass bottle that is left with you in the room.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
And you know when the person is coming.
Yeah.
Why on earth do you not just break that bottle and then shove it up the dude's stomach when he comes in? Even if you don't like kill him outright, you at least give yourself a fighting chance. Yeah. And like the whole movie, I'm like, you've got so many weapons in that room with you now.
Right.
Like, why? And then I think the most egregious part, like spoilers for however, you know, like I'll still kind of talk around it because like people might be like me where they're watching it in preparation for the sequel.
Sure.
There's a part where he's got the guy dead to rights. And again, surrounded by weapons. You're in a kitchen.
Right.
There's knives, right? And it's like, why are you sneaking around? Why don't you just slit this motherfucker's throat? And I understand that you're like 12.
Yeah.
But like, get angry.
Yeah,
and I think also at the beginning, like when his dad is like beating his sister, and I'm like, just hit the motherfucker, kid. Like,
right.
And again, dealing with some rage issues.
Sure. Yeah.
I understand he's 12.
He is 12. That is part of the thing. You know, they're not thinking straight. And also they're probably scared out of their mind, and the man wears a scary mask. You don't, I actually, my biggest thing was I wish they would have kind of gave me a little bit more of Ethan Hawke's character, because they give you enough to make him creepy, but like there seemed like there was a lot more going on that they just never really like dive into, and I was like, there's more here that I really want to learn, but you're not giving me that. You're giving me this other aspect, which is this other aspect is interesting, I guess, and fine, but like I want to know more about this guy. What the fuck? Like,
yeah, especially because you're told that he can also hear the phone, but he's like in denial.
Yeah,
that he hears the phone.
There's that. There's like he's wearing different masks at times and acting slightly like, or different pieces of the mask, and I'm like, what's that about? Like, what?
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Like horror.
Oh
character
yeah,
masks.
like that shit's cool. Like, and that was my big thing as I got out of it or as the movie ended, I was like, why didn't I get more of that? That guy was interesting, but we didn't really dive into that. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
well, maybe the sequel will get into that.
Maybe, but again, I instantly went, this is a sequel that I don't feel needs to exist. But here we are.
I'm curious how they pull it off, though, because honestly,
sure.
like
I'm gonna watch it.
Have you seen the trailer for the sequel?
Here and there. I can't escape it on Reddit. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like the part where he's being like thrown around.
Sure.
And then like, other people come into the room and they just see him like flying around the room. I'm like, that's interesting to me. Like I kind of want to see what's going on there. It might be good.
And we've already established that ghosts. So yeah, why not?
Yeah. Yeah. And then today I saw a movie, which is why I didn't really get to play much. Sure. I went with friend of the show, John Gholson, to see One Battle After Another, the new Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
I really want to check that out. So I'm curious if that's what you think of it.
It is fucking excellent.
Okay. All right. That's so far what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah. The marketing of that movie, John and I were talking about it after the movie because we were both like, it's kind of funny because like, my thing has been, I saw the trailer for that movie at every single movie that I saw for a period of 4 months. And we're talking about like, because I would see like, I went to see Superman multiple times. I saw Fantastic Four multiple times at like different theaters, and it didn't matter where I was. It was like that trailer was playing. Right. And there were two trailers. The first one made it look like, oh, it's this kind of funny comedy where Leo's playing this like kind of, sad sack, like loser dad that is like paranoid or something. Right. And it's like, okay, whatever, I don't care. And then the second trailer was like, oh, there's like this whole like revolution element to it, and that's way more interesting. Yeah. And it's neither of those movies.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, it's partially those, but that's not where they really should have marketed it, which is that it's like one of the most intense action movies
interesting
I've seen in a long time.
Okay.
Like on the edge of my seat for like the majority. It's a 3-hour movie and didn't feel like it at all.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, so the setup is, and man, I was so angry when I came out of the movie, but not because like the movie was bad. Yeah. It was just like the reality of like the themes that the movie was dealing with, which is the movie starts out with him and his wife starting they literally declare war on the U.S. government.
Good for them.
In protest of the immigration camps from like the first Trump presidency.
Okay, sure.
And like they do the shit that I think needs to be done.
Sure.
And it's super satisfying to watch. And they run afoul of and it took me like a long part of the movie to realize that we weren't dealing with the military, we were dealing with the police, because they just look like soldiers. Yeah, because that's the reality of what we're dealing with these days. Is there's no longer any demarcation line between those two professions. Right. But Sean Penn's character is, he like the wife runs afoul of him
Mhm.
and ends up like basically having to cut a deal with him in order to avoid going away for pretty much the rest of her life. And so she turns witness protection and basically sells out like her revolutionary group. And so that leaves Leonardo DiCaprio to like raise their daughter by himself. And so then we move forward like 16 years. So it takes place like near future.
Yeah.
And like I won't get too deep into it, but there's a reason why after all that time he and his daughter are being hunted down, and also the rest of like their former
outfit,
like revolutionary group. But like once shit kicks off, it is like the most tense like chase and like running scenes that I've really experienced. Like, and it's got this really interesting score where it's like a lot of just like tense like piano music. It's like it sounds like someone just got on a piano and just started riffing while they were watching the movie.
Yeah.
And it sounds weird, but like it really ratcheted up the tension in a way that I wasn't expecting. And yeah, it's a hell of a movie, man. And like it made me sad at parts because like you see like this like underground railroad basically for immigrants. And like I got teary-eyed because it's like these people are just like trying to live their lives, man. Like they're not, you know what I mean? Like they're no danger to anyone. And the fact that like you're using all of this shit to like, you know, try to eradicate these people when all's said and done, like just like really like it was kind of like Hell Is Us when I finished that, where I was like, man, I like just fuck humanity. Like look, it's time. Look, we're done. Let's just stop. But no, excellent movie. And yeah, can't recommend it enough. So definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. I have one last thing, and it'll be really quick.
Sure.
I am continuing to watch the Fallout series, which is slowly getting better as it's going, which I'm very impressed by. Because I really liked it in the beginning, and I was like, oh, and then the second episode happened, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's gonna be kind of this, but they played on a lot of like the tropes of that series very well, including some of the like more unspoken ones, and I thought that was really cool. Like they kind of go into like Vault Tech conspiracy stuff that like is never really, as far as I remember, is never really explicitly stated, but they go into it here, and I was like, that's cool that they even acknowledge that that's like a thing. It's very good. That's a very good series. Even if you don't know anything about it, I think it's really good. It's very fun, and it's funny in spots. I mean, as the series tries, attempts to be humorous and sometimes succeeds. The show's really, really good, honestly. Like there's a lot of, I'm very curious how they're gonna wrap up at least the season that I'm watching.
I should check it out. I re-upped on Amazon Prime not too long ago, so I have access to it now. Like I just don't really care about the Fallout universe,
I get it.
But maybe but a good show is a good show, right?
And I think that's the thing here. It's it's exactly that. Like I like the Fallout games, but I like them because like they're open world RPGs that like I can just sit there and mindlessly play sometimes, and sometimes they have a good little story beat here and there. But this one's like, no, this is actually a good show for sure. And it's fun for me. Like there are definitely times where I make Kim stop and I go, hold on. Okay, so this thing, like, I'll go into it. And she's like, okay, cool. I didn't really care. But she didn't say that, but she's thinking it.
How is she on the ghoul bandwagon? The ladies love the ghoul.
Yeah, he's he's a good character. He's a cool character. I think he's very fun. I don't know if she's like, head over heels for him, but I think that's probably her favorite character, where I actually think Lucy, the main Vault Dweller protagonist, I think she's my favorite so far.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's good. It's worth watching, It's got some shit going on.
Cool.
Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. It's hard to say.
Yeah. I know that when I had HBO Max, I watched, or I attempted to watch the Last of Us show, and I made it like halfway through the first episode, and I think that took me 4 viewings.
Yeah.
Or 4 attempted viewings. I would get like, 5 to 10 minutes in, and I was like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think this show is for me. And keep in mind, I love the video game. I was just like, I don't need to see this recreated this way.
The good thing about the Fallout series is it's not a recreation of anything. It's
not, and I wouldn't have, like, even if it was, I haven't played enough to.
No, I would totally get that, but but I'm very much enjoying it. I think they do a good job of, giving you the basics of pretty much anything that they've introduced so far. So there's something to that.
Well, before we get out of here, Justin, let's hit up some comments, questions, or concerns, because we didn't get around to doing that last week.
Okay, we can do that.
We won't do a ton because it is pretty late. It's Scotster Day over where Justin is.
That's true. It is that.
Yeah. And also, like I said, this is the 3rd episode in 2 days that we've recorded.
Yes.
But I don't want them to stack up too much.
Yeah, no worries.
If you do have a comment, question, or concern, there's lots of ways to get at us. You can email us. The email address is thestageselectpod@gmail.com. You can comment on the show post on Patreon, YouTube, or Spotify, or you can join our Discord. That's probably the best way, and there's a channel for comments, questions, or concerns. Kicking things off with a comment from episode 75, titled, "I Can't Even Get Behind This Ironically." Big Baker says, if the Plague game is acting up on the Steam Deck, they do have a support page on their website. Would definitely recommend reaching out and asking if there's a fix to it. They've been helpful in the past. To which I would say, Big Baker knows me. I'm not the type of person to like rock the boat. Feel that it's probably a known issue, and it's fine. It plays fine enough on the Steam Deck. It's just like some of the modes aren't working, but that wasn't necessarily like what I was interested in engaging with anyway. I haven't gone back to Plague Inc. since I talked about it, but it's still installed on the Steam Deck. Cool. So like I will definitely be like firing up like a Plague here and there, because I think that game's a lot of fun. Let's see. Heading over to Discord. Dennis75 asks, what's the best deal or the one you were most proud of in regards to video games? Same question in regards to any other media or collectible.
Oh, like thing that we bought for really cheap?
Oh
boy, I don't remember.
I don't really
tough.
I don't often find deals. Oh, you know what? Purely from like a return on investment, if I decide to sell, I ended up buying like the Gunstar Heroes GBA game and one of the Fire Emblem games on GBA for like dirt cheap at Toys R Us.
Okay, yeah.
And like those are both still sealed, and they're both worth like a pretty penny.
Yeah.
I just want to play them. Really, I've just never got around to it. But if I did sell them, like they're worth a decent amount.
Hold on, I have to look up the price of something now.
Yeah, because so I've kind of stopped collecting, and so I'm not really looking for deals all that often.
Mhm.
And most of the stuff that I end up buying, I do buy at full price just because, like, I do a podcast,
Right.
so I'm kind of trying to keep up on new shit, and so then I just kind of have it.
Right.
And I'm not really going back to older stuff.
Yeah.
Unless it's available digitally these days.
Right. It's a tough question. I mean, I buy a ton of stuff on the Steam sales for like $1.
Yeah.
And or $3 or whatever they are. Like stuff I'm never gonna play. I'll just buy it sometimes. I'm like, for $2,
Yeah, you're weird about that.
I'm just like, why not? Let's just have it. You know, you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm glad I do have it. I'm trying to think of like a game that the one that value wise that I don't have it anymore, and I don't, God only knows what happened to it. But I do remember buying Earthbound for $30 at a Walmart.
Ooh, yeah.
The
there
big
you
box. In Norton, Virginia, close to our friend Jacob Washington's hometown. He knows Norton, trust me.
Man, I wonder how he's doing. Haven't heard from him in a while.
You know, well, he probably forgot how to use the phone.
I hate when I forget how to use a
He'll
phone.
do that, you know. He'll sometimes
Yeah.
he said it before. Sometimes he just forgets.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll have to check in on him someday. Yeah, no, I remember buying that, and at the time, I just was glad I could find an RPG that was $30. Because they were like, yeah, you can buy a video game because we know you're bored as shit here because there's nothing to fucking do. So I found that one. I'd never heard of it before. And was like, yeah, it comes with a big box with a strategy guide in it. Yeah, let's try it out. And I remember playing it for a good amount of time and being like, yeah, this is okay. And that now it's like, you know, a big deal, I guess. But yeah, now if I still had the whole big box that it came with, it would have been worth a pretty good amount. Yeah, but that's the one that comes to my mind. So yeah.
Yeah. Casey asks, what are your favorite Simpsons Treehouse of Horror segments, and do you still watch the new specials?
Oh man, I have news for you. I don't remember any of those.
You're not much of you're not much of a Simpsons guy.
I watched The Simpsons a decent amount. They used to rerun it on one of the local stations here, and I would watch that every now and then. But I'm definitely not one of those people that knows a lot of the episodes and remembers a lot of stuff from it.
Right.
And yeah, Treehouse of Horrors, oh boy, yeah, I don't remember. I apologize. I'm not that kind of Simpsons fan. I think it's a great show, and some of the bits that I remember are really funny. Like I remember thinking the Tomako episode was great. And I don't remember, God only knows when I watched that, but
Right.
yeah. So okay.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like 2 years in a row. And I don't remember like the names of them or anything, but it was the year where every single one of the stories they killed Willie in a different way. Like that was the one that had the Shining spoof.
Vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. You've got the shinin. You mean Shining. Hush boy, you want to get sued.
Right.
So there's that year where they kill him in every single sketch or every single story. And then the following year, he's actually like the killer. Right.
Yeah,
like that's the one where he turns into like Freddy Krueger and stuff like that. So I like those as like companion pieces together.
There you go.
But like, dude, I have not watched Simpsons. Like, I remember it was around like 2002 that I stopped, like 2001, 2002, but I stopped watching it regularly because I was always closing on Sundays.
Sure.
And I worked at a mall that was like way north of where I lived.
Yeah.
So by the time that I got home, like Simpsons was over.
Right.
and so it stopped becoming a habit.
Sure.
I was still watching the syndicated stuff regularly,
Yeah.
but they weren't showing the new stuff
No,
in the
they
syndication.
usually rerun the same couple seasons for a while, and that's what you get.
Yeah. And I am of the opinion that show should have died like years ago.
Probably
Like
should have, yeah.
I'm so past ready for that one to end. I'm ready for Family Guy to be over.
Is Family Guy still going?
Family Guy's still going, dude.
Wow. Okay, I'm actually.
Yeah. I think American Dad is too.
American Dad is too. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
South Park. I haven't watched any South Park since the pandemic started. Like, it seems like they're still doing like good shit, but I'm also like I don't mind if that one ends.
Yeah.
Also, like, I want new shows.
Yeah,
like
new shows are good. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
that'd be good. They should do those.
Yeah. Let's see. 60 says, member of a band leaves the band, remaining members replace them. Should the band change their name? Does that change depending on the member's role?
Depends on the member of the band. In my personal opinion.
Yeah. It kind of becomes a Ship of Theseus thing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Depending on, if you have like core members leave or something like that.
Well, me and Lonnie were talking about a band that did that exact thing where it's like, it's not even the same band anymore. It might be like, oh God, I'd have to look. Like, I think there might be one original. There aren't any. I think it might be Foghat or Molly Hatchet. Molly Hatchet was the one. We were not Molly Hatchet fans, but I remember we looked up the members of Molly Hatchet, and it's like they still tour, but it's like there's none of the original members left at all because it's Molly Hatchet.
Was it a giant bomb thing where it was like, okay, this person came in while these members were still there,
sure.
and they carry it on?
Probably. That's probably exactly how it went. Might be a different band I'm thinking of too, but I swear it's Molly Hatchet. The most interesting case is Linkin Park recently when obviously Chester Bennington. I've said on the show many times, not a big Linkin Park guy at all. But I get that people like that band and they were really close to Chester Bennington. Totally get that. I might be saying his last name wrong. I can't remember. But they really like that guy. I totally get it. That's it's a connection to lyrics and all that stuff. You get a new lead singer, you should just start a new fucking band and make new music. 'Cause like, what the fuck are you doing?
I think it depends on if that lead singer was like the creative force of the band.
Sure.
Right? So like, like Van Halen, right? Like it wasn't
named after
David Lee Roth.
It was named after the guitar player, Eddie Van Halen.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
Right. Now I prefer David Lee Roth, over Sammy Hagar as like a front man, but he wasn't like the heart of it. But like, I think my thing with the Linkin Park thing is because he wrote those lyrics and like so much of it is like, those are the feelings that he had that led to him killing himself. And to me, it's like, those aren't your feelings that you're singing. So that's a weird one to me.
It feels like such an insane money grab. And then they got like one of the worst fucking not like I at first when I heard Linkin Park's gonna come back and they have a female lead singer, I was like, that's a neat idea to do that. I guess it's different enough. It's kind of distancing itself. That could work. And then you learn more about them and it's like, oh, they seem kind of terrible actually.
I hadn't heard.
Yeah, they're a Scientologist and all this other stuff.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't do that. So it just
wouldn't even believe in him getting the help that he needed when he was still alive. So cool.
Dipshits, cool. Linkin Park fucking sucks. They do.
So like a good example for me of a band that I love is Nightwish, which so they had replaced their original lead singer. and then replace the replacement. So they're on their third lead singer.
Yep.
They have also since lost like their lead guitarist, who was like he was also like the backup vocalist. But Tuomas, who is the person responsible for the lyrics and the music of Nightwish, is still with the band. And I feel that as long as Tuomas is there, it's Nightwish.
There's
but if he leaves, pack it in.
I also think it depends on, you know, the vibe. If your entire vibe changes, you know, then that's different. Like Mars Volta was basically like two people, but they had a lot of different people come in and out of there, mostly because one of the people was kind of a not great person to work with, and that's why they went through band members a lot. But they always had the same lead singer, and they always had the same one guy kind of making all the stuff behind it, I guess. So there's that. The one interesting one that's kind of the opposite of all this, where they got a different lead singer and then changed the name, is Rage Against the Machine to Audioslave. And that's
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Rage Against the Machine. Basically, Zach De La Rocha left, and they got Chris Cornell in there, and they became Audioslave. It's Audioslave is just Rage Against the Machine band wise, but with a different singer, completely different vibe for the most part. And so they went a different. It wouldn't have been right if all of a sudden Chris Cornell was still Rage Against the Machine. I'd be like, this doesn't work, man. I don't know. Like that's a completely different thing. So yeah, it depends. It largely depends on the band, depends on the vibe. Sometimes Linkin Park was a fucking egregious. That one bugs me because it feels like such a fucking cash grab. Like they were like, no, we can milk this our name a little bit more. People will still come, and they do, and I hate it. I'm like, oh, you fucks.
Yeah.
Oh, let the man rest in peace. Like I said, I never will claim to be a Linkin Park fan or anything like that, but like I respect that guy. You know what I mean? That's a thing. There's a difference between not being a fan of their thing, but like I respect them. And I'll say that about a lot of music.
We'll end on this one from Xrian, who says, any movie trailers or game that really stand out to you? Possibly even better than the movie or game. My wife always said Iron Man 3's trailer was better than the movie, and I love the Creed 2 trailer.
Oh.
And I wanted to end on that one. I almost saved it, but you brought up Sin City, and Sin City is my all-time favorite movie trailer.
It's a great movie trailer. Yeah.
It's fucking awesome, and it has an awesome song that's not on the soundtrack. I had to like hunt it down.
Yeah.
It's The Servant by Cells.
Right.
Or sorry, it's Cells by The Servant.
Right.
And yeah, man, I will randomly just look up the trailer for Sin City because like everything about it is just like pitch perfect to me.
Yeah. That's tough. Video game trailer that's better than the game itself, or movie, obviously. I know I really love the Gears of War. The first one, Mad World.
Yeah,
that's a great trailer.
Bought that song because of that trailer.
It's a great trailer. I'm not even like I'm not a big Gears of War guy or anything like that, but like great fucking trailer, really is.
Yeah. I honestly don't think that they really cash in on the vibe of that trailer until towards the end of the second game.
No, you're probably you're right. That's a good one. I'm sure there's more if I sat here and thought about it. It's I forget trailers a lot. I won't lie.
No, I get it. Like movie wise, another one for me is Star Wars Episode 1. Like,
oh yeah,
because like there was people forget there was a time when Star Wars was gone.
Yeah, there sure was.
And like me as a kid, like loving Star Wars, I would like grab onto every little piece of Star Wars that I could find. And then it was like, because we had like the special editions come out, and that was massive for me, getting to see those on the big screen. And then it was like, yo, like if you go see the movie adaptation of what is that PC series?
Series.
Yeah, that Mark Hamill, that space series, Wing Commander. If you go see Wing Commander in the theater, it's got the Star Wars Episode 1 trailer to it. And so that's what I did. I went to go see fucking Wing Commander so I could see Star Wars Episode 1 trailer on the big screen.
Yeah.
I remember the trailer. I don't remember that fucking movie. Wing Commander.
Right.
So yeah, that was like a big one for me.
Yeah.
Game wise, I mean, there's a ton, but like we're running out of gas.
Yeah.
But like, look, Metal Gear Solid 2,
Metal
Gear Solid 3.
God, yeah, those are great fucking trailers, of course.
The second Dead Space. The second Death Stranding 2 trailer, the one that has the guitar battle between Higgs and the samurai robot.
Honestly, a lot of the original Death Stranding trailers I thought were fucking cool as shit too. Yeah. I mean, Kojima's
is
trailer. That man can
master
cut a fucking trailer, dude. He is great at it.
He really can.
Even some of the recent like the oh god, I always forget the name of this horror game. OD. Yeah, even some of the recent ones of that have been really cool.
Oh yeah, did you get to check out that most recent?
Yes, I did. It was that was pretty cool. That game I can't play that game.
Yeah, that trailer freaked me the fuck out.
It's wild. It's wild. Yeah. For sure.
All right. Well, I think that's a show,
Justin. That's a show, Julian.
I mean, it's a third show, but
it's the third show in a week. Hey, sometimes you got to do 3 shows in a week. It's fine.
Oh yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, appreciate you taking the time to do that for me.
Appreciate you,
for the listeners
doing all the editing. That
we
I
appreciate
don't have to
y'all.
Do. All I have to do is show up. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm doing super light editing on this episode so that I can squeeze out as much gaming as I can,
buddy.
But before I have to go back on Monday.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting the show. All that good stuff. Thanks as always to the wonderful Megan McDuffie for our theme song and interstitial tracks. Thanks to friend of the show, John Gholson, for being our announcer and providing us with our logo and artwork. But that is going to do it for this edition of the Stage Select. I've been Julian Titus. He's been Justin Ham. We've been the Stage Select. Sleepily signing off.
Uh-huh.
The Stage Select is copyrighted and owned by Space Monkey Mafia Productions, specializing in independent podcasting. Please consider sharing the show with your friends and support us by joining our Patreon or donating to our coffee. Thank you, and good night.